The chaos reigns. Replacement killer.
You got my man Chaos Rain Show. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's good, Mr. Palmer? How you doing? Can you hear me good? Tell my blind. Oh, I see. I'm working. Yeah, good for you covering this, man. Did I cover this yesterday on my channel? I did. And I might have said allegedly, all this stuff. But when I look at the situation and the status of how things are going,
yeah,
they were very silent. And let's be honest, it's very rare they'll protect a brother that's in the league in regards to something serious. But with something like, like if he's messing around, they sure as hell will put that on the open like they did to Ibdoko. But because he's a basketball player that they need, they're not gonna really do that. They have some form of integrity. You get me?
Yep.
And let's be honest. He's not married to that chick, which is a good thing. But
no, you're not married.
But when I read about his two kids, only one got Wiggins, but the other one doesn't got the last name. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
That means you are playing stepdaddy regardless. So if she goes behind your back and fuck on you, that's on you, player.
Yeah.
That's just an obvious answer. So now we have to conclude. And really, let's be honest, you're never gonna know until maybe, and I'm saying maybe his career is done when he's finished playing the league, maybe. Because they did this with LeBron James and he's still active, but when Delonte West was no longer playing in the league, they rolled out all the truth about that. What happened during the 2009 going to 2010 season.
Right.
So think about it. You come back and play now. You might be psychologically not ready to handle what has happened to you, that you put yourself in. This will affect your performance.
Facts, that's true.
So regardless if it's speculated or not, and let's be honest, his baby mama's stupid as hell. You should shut the fuck up. Don't respond on Twitter. Why is people still responding on social media? If anything is alleged put out there, you shut the hell up. You shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. The world doesn't, you just keep your mouth silent.
Hey, Prayed Up says her sex tape just got leaked. She got a sex tape?
They're going to have to verify that.
I don't know nothing really about her, man. So
they've been kind of silent for a long time. What's up, Mr. Palmer? What's up, everybody on the panel?
I don't know too
much about
her.
I'll say this, bro. I found out my nephew was my nephew when he was 6. His mama took him to take multiple tests with multiple guys. My brother didn't find out that was his son until he was 6. I learned that over 20 years ago. These hoes need to be tested. Now, I'm going to say this. Y'all ever pay attention to this? While they run around here and say mama's goddess and all this old shit, they never ask where Kevin Durant's daddy is or LeBron's because they don't fucking know. And so you telling me ain't no 6'11" nigga walking around Cleveland or Texas somewhere? So they got these big gigantic ass sons. Don't nobody know who these dudes' daddies is. Can't give their daddies credit for nothing because they mama don't know who their daddy is. But the mama's the real MVP, right?
Big time.
Man, this shit crazy, bro. Look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. More likely than not, the shit probably is true.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that.
Think about this story. Think about this story. Do y'all remember they killed this story because it didn't really come out? They said that Jason Richardson was the father of one of Steve Nash's kids.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Steve Nash got a divorce when he found out the baby was black.
Yeah.
They kept that real quiet.
Probably paid her to shut her mouth. You know how that goes.
Yeah. So, man, they are who they are, bro. They are who we thought. They are who we think they are.
But Steve, hold on, brother. KP, isn't that Steve Nash's baby wife? Is she black? I don't know.
His ex-wife is foreign. She's foreign.
From where?
She's foreign. All I know is that he had 2 girls by her at one time, and then when they had the 3rd kid years ago, he got a divorce the next day after she had the baby. The baby was black. It's very self-explanatory to me. The baby was black. I'm telling you.
So we'll allege say that she's mixed. Okay, continue.
Go ahead. Somebody else can chime in. I'm just listening. Go ahead, guys.
Chaos. Let me ask you a question, Chaos, because I've been knowing you for a minute. Facebook and stuff like that, and you got your YouTube channel. I noticed you have a lot of sympathy forces that come on your show and on your YouTube channel. I mean your Facebook page.
Oh, do I? I don't know because usually I just post my shows, so I don't know if anybody reads the comments.
Yeah.
But if anything, let me know in low, because I'm not aware, because I don't get traction on my Facebook, unfortunately, because I don't like posts. Only thing I do is like relate to the channel itself mostly. Now,
Okay.
if people respond in either a positive, negative way, that's cool because usually some engagement is better than nothing. But if I do have anybody that's allegedly a simp, I got let me know on the.
You know one of them. I guarantee you know.
Oh, okay, all right. I think I found it.
Yeah. I laugh. I mean, he know exactly who I am. I know him. He don't say nothing about me. I don't say nothing to him. It's like I guess like a mutual respect, but you already know, hey man, I don't like what he be talking about, you know what I'm saying? And definitely vice versa. So I'll talk to you about that.
All right.
Yeah, man. You going live today?
Oh, me? No, that's it. Yesterday was the stream. If y'all want to catch back, you can catch my own take on it, and I throw some twists in there.
Well, tell everybody about your page, and you know what I'm saying. Tell them.
The Chaos Ray channel is mostly pretty much everything. That's the only channel right now that I talk about anything. Some issues, males, females. I'll dabble with it, but mostly it's other things that if it's trendy and it looks like it needs attention, I'll give it attention.
Right, you do.
But personally, I don't want to give it too much attention because let's be honest, bro. There are some people out here now are just saying anything just. And when we come to find out, I watch YouTube closely. Yeah. That a lot of people just putting this shit out here and make up stories. Not saying it's not true because we all can relate if it's done correctly. Yeah. But instead of you doing this just to push a book or any product, it lets you know that you're not really sincere. You just did that for some bullshit. And really, we want to be real with this because this affects it really affects mostly men anyway in this country anyway. So if you're going to put that stuff out there, make sure your junk's legit. You get me? Yo, don't just put anything just to get buzz. Remember, a woman that said that had kids and the guy brought food and he only wanted to give food to his son, that chick admit that it was because she wanted a bag.
Right.
So to find when a black man not gonna do that, I say, bro, that's not a good look. A chick will be honest with her shit, which is surprising. But when you lying, or if you just putting this crazy story just to get a noise, a buzz, no, I can't respect that. Fuck that. I would have left that shit alone. You get me?
Yeah.
But like I said, it caught wind because it got traction. But like I said, I'm very weary cover stuff like that because I don't want to give more people attention that really want to get a quick hype. And also you come find out, especially, when we talk about the female nature, male nature, we got to be serious here because let's be honest. And one thing that has to be changed in this country, they need the mandatory DNA test now. This is no longer a joke now. If you're going to be forcing men to be paying, even during conception, then okay, that means I have the right to ask for a DNA test. And trust me, Mr. Palmer, I asked ladies about this. One lady said if she got to be asked, she said that I don't need to be in a relationship. I read this call off. And I'm saying, fuck that. Dudes, if women say they're gonna cut off this and it's yours, move on.
You fucking income fucking
you gotta move on because the highest respect you as woman could do is at least be on, let the man have the option to know it's his kid that he's taking care of at least. We didn't have this option 40 years ago. We have it now. And now that even outside America and now America, if it's anything jumping over half or 25 or more, you're going to have to really take this seriously now because there is gene swapping. There is some person that a woman's going to always
find. Chaos. It's over 30% now. It's over 30%.
Yeah. It's 30%. In other countries, I think one in particular, was it Jamaica or Trinidad?
It was Jamaica or Nigeria.
It's like over 30 or 40. See, that's too high. That tells me either the dudes don't care or the women just don't give a fuck. But let's be honest. If a man has to pay in America, no, you're going to have to care now. You're going to have to care now. Because now what is evident now that they're having their fun too. And they don't have to tell you nothing.
Right.
And let's be honest. When a woman, like you said, Ms. Palm, doesn't really want to be comfortable and really say, okay, let's do the test. It tells they have something to hide. I don't give about the sob stories, the sad stories. No, fuck that.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, relationships here don't last 10 years. Marriage only lasts 10 years now. So now it's incumbent for a lot of men to not say if it's your kid, make sure it is yours now. You know, especially if you come from a relationship with another kid. Obviously, now you're going to check that.
Right.
So that's it. Next person.
Hey, appreciate you, my brother. JJ, I know you got to come with some wisdom, spiritual. What's going on, brother?
Howdy, brother. Thanks for having me. Good to hear from you, man. It's been a while. I want to say this about traveling. You get your passports and stuff. I'm leery about the idea, and it horrifies me, the idea of getting married in this country. It used to didn't. I used to be like hard up and want it. No, I feel like just utterly repulsed by it now. And if you're going to travel, do some research on the countries you want to travel to. Look at the percentage of single motherism, what type of culture it is, how the women, you know, how they act over there, what, you know, their roles, how well they play, or how if they play their roles right at all that stuff. You got to look into it. The climate, you got to be able to adapt. I know that because I've been all over this country, and it's got weather extremes. You might go from Chicago and go down to Arizona in the wintertime. It'd be hot or something. You know, you gotta be able to adapt mentally, socially, otherwise, you know, and know the currency exchanges, and don't tell everybody where you're going. Tell a trusted family member, because you don't want your enemies knowing every move you make. No, and I see a lot of that going on. They staring each other down on the highway. It's a lot of that mess. Narcissistic personality disorder is something Dennis talked about, and I'm aware of it, and I know it when I see it. Thank him for bringing that up. Didn't know how to put a word to that, but I know now what it is.
Man, shout out to you. You working? You over the road?
I'm local still. All this stuff going on, it makes me just burn out to think about how hard it is to find a parking place over the road, how high the food is now, and you know, the weather is bad out west and all that stuff. I drove in my share of blizzards, but I don't miss it. No. And then the longer you stay out, the more money you spend there. Let's not have my own truck, you know. I'm getting a call. I'll get back with y'all later, but thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good seeing you, man. Be safe. All right, shout out to JJ. You know what I'm saying, out there doing his MGTOW. He MGTOW to the T. Hey, my man Harold up in the building. Harold Jackson, what's good?
Hey, you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
All right. Yeah, I had to come in on this because, you know, I know from experience pretty much. My mother, after she was pregnant and she gave birth, and then found out that it wasn't his baby, it was another person's baby. I was like around 8 years old. I snuck into the courthouse to hear her bashing my father and stuff like that. My father was working 2 jobs to pretty much, you know, trying to raise me and my 3 brothers plus the half sister. So, like, you know, she was a stay-at-home mother and stuff like that. But after the divorce and everything, you know, she got custody, of course, and we had to move to the Bronx. And as we moved to the Bronx and everything,
Wait. Hold on, brother. Wait a minute. So you telling me that she did some infidelity shit? She still got custody of y'all?
Yep. This was in the 80s.
Right.
Like 80.
In the 80s, yeah.
This was like 1980, actually, because I was like 8 years old.
Wow. I want y'all to hear that again, y'all. This brother, it's in the 80s, 1980. And usually they say if you cheat, that's ground for divorce, and the other party get it. She cheat, had a kid on him, and she get custody of all of them. His kids, not the daughter, but his 2 sons. Ain't that a bitch? Go ahead,
well,
bro.
Actually, it was 3 sons. It was me, my brother Arturo, and William.
Oh, 3 sons.
And,
3.
Yeah, Yeah, and my half sister. So yeah. So when we moved to the Bronx and stuff like that, I've pretty much seen actually why she did it because she bought a bar, like an actual bar that you see like in nightclubs and stuff like that. She had it in the living room, set up just the way with you have the wells on top. You have I'm sorry, you had the premium on top. You had the medium liquor in the middle, and you had the wells at the bottom. And she had like all the backup liquor, in the drawers, inside the bar. Uh, like '70s parties, um, like every Saturday, every weekend. So that's how I became an alcoholic because I used to drink her backup liquor and stuff like that. I used to like drink a vodka and orange juice like for the morning, lunch, dinner, and before I went to bed. Like I was literally an alcoholic from the age of like 9 to like I was like 11 years old. Just
She never
drinking.
knew it?
No,
She
she
never
never
knew
knew
it?
because I used to drink. No, because I used to always drink the backup liquor, and she used to. That's when she started, because as I understood it, her parents, like her father, was like the tyrant. My grandfather, he was he was an alcoholic himself, and he used to beat up on my grandmother, and I'm guessing he used to beat up on the kids too, on her and the other two sisters as well, my other two aunts. So I think it was like now that she was free and she never like went out to go party and all that other stuff. She probably pretty much used my dad's resources to now be free and to party and everything else. So she's first, started, drinking, smoking. Then she went to weed. Then she went to other drugs, coke, and then she eventually went to crack. So what I came to find out as well, nobody told me I had to do like some research, but I was always wondering why my father was always mad at his brother, which is my uncle, and to come to find out, I was heard through the grapevine that his brother would sleep with my mother. So not only that she had an affair with some dude from the south, but she also was having an affair uh, with my dad's brother.
You get in water? I can't fucking believe you. How could you do this to me for him?
Damn.
Yeah, man. So God rest her soul, because she died in at January, I think 8th, 1990. Yeah, 1990. She died of AIDS because when I was like 13, well, actually when I was 12, we had to move out of the apartment and then move to Gun Hill Road, and we stayed with on my father's side, my grandfather, until she got a couple of furnished rooms down the block, and she was skipping out for like one time it was like a month, then it was like 3 months, and then as I was like 12 going to 13, she was gone for a whole year. So me and my brother, we went to pack bags and didn't go to school just to pay for the rooms, which was $100 a week. So we went and packed bags for the whole week to make that money, so we wouldn't get kicked out and be homeless. And after the year was over, then BCW, which is Bureau of Child Welfare in New York, came with her and took us upstate, and then I was sent to a group home back to the Bronx.
They still didn't let you go with your dad, huh?
No, my dad had to spend a shitload of money to go to court to retrieve us, and he got my youngest brother William first. Then he got Arturo, which is he's disabled. He has a learning disability. He also has schizophrenia, and he gets epileptic seizures. He's been getting that ever since he was 4. So he got them 2, and then about the time he was getting me, I already tried to apply to be an emancipated minor ever since I was in the group home, ever since I was like 16. And about the time he was trying to get me, I was already like 19, getting ready to graduate out of high school. And I told him, I said, nah, man, I'm out. I said, I'm going to just live on my own. And, he felt, years later, he felt bad about that. I took that stance, and I didn't want to live with him. Like, he took it it was because of him and stuff like that. But it wasn't. I just wanted to be, going through all that stuff and being the man of the house for all those years with my mother and doing all that stuff. I just wanted just to, do my stuff on my own and just make, be my own man.
Right.
So he never understood that. He told his best friend about that, and when he died at the funeral and stuff like that, she told me how he felt about me and stuff like that. And she's another baby mama terrorist too. And she was like giving me the look, like it was my fault that he got all upset about everything and stuff like that. And I just looked at her and I told her, I said, look, you don't know nothing that happened with me and my father, and why did I slip out or stuff like that. Yeah, he could tell you this and that, but it's really none of your business.
Right, bitch, mind your business.
Exactly. And she told me right there while my father's in the casket, like you couldn't tell me over the phone or tell me later while I'm cleaning out his apartment, which I had to do by myself because all these bitch ass people was like, oh man, we respect your father and stuff like that. But ain't nobody helped me. I had to clean out a 2-bedroom apartment, take out beds, drawers, books. I had to bring a U-Haul from Pennsylvania all the way to Brooklyn, Coney Island, Brooklyn, to empty out this apartment for a whole freaking week. So that's why I cut everybody off. And people still be talking shit, and I'll just be like, put that sound effect on. I don't give a
fuck what you think, bitch.
Oh, Ray gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, and I'm just like that to this very day. Every time they come and say some shit off of Facebook, or if my father's uncle, comes and say some crazy stuff and stuff like that, I put him in his place too. I don't care. He's my elder. He's a, what I'm saying? He's a baby boomer that just ain't nothing. He's just those dirty ass church people. That's all they do. They think they holier than thou, all because you didn't go to church or you're not up, reading the Bible every single day. That they better than you. Exactly. So I tell them the same thing.
Exactly.
And on top of that, this is how ain't shit my family is. When my father passed away, and I'm over here going to his apartment trying to look for all the life insurance policies and stuff like that. My great uncle ransacked the whole apartment looking for stuff, and I still don't know to this very day what the hell he was looking for and what did he find.
Damn. But they ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah, and on top of that, my father had a mutual fund, and because he was in a home, he was in a nursing home that was trying to liquidate the mutual fund, so he put it under my great uncle's name, so they won't, liquidate it for us. And then it took me about a year and a half to start getting that money, because he was saying that, oh, my father owed him some money. But my father, he had access to my father's bank account, which I denied him after he died. My father had about $30,000 in the bank. So, and he had access to it because he had power of attorney. So he's trying to tell me that my father owed him like almost 10 grand of money, but he has over $30,000 in the bank.
The fuck out of here.
So yeah, I was like, fuck it, go ahead, take it. So I had to wait a year and a half so he can get his so-called money, so I can get my mutual fund because it's in his name, and we couldn't change it over. So now I had to get a lawyer, and we had to get do like a will sort of thing, and like he had to write that, yeah, this is fund is for me and whatever, and if I passed away and whatever, it'll automatically goes into my name and stuff like that. So I had to spend money for bullshit because of him too. And there's more stuff, but everybody else got to talk. So
yeah, I understand. Email me. I'm about to have to come on the show, but Keisha Griffin says she tagged. She said, "I feel you." She said, "I'm dealing with the same thing right now with my dad." So even she got a situation going on with her dad with the family members and shit.
Yeah, man. That's why when people tell me, "Oh, I'm black," I tell them, "Shit." Man, I was like, I'm not. I was like, I'm not black, okay? Because black is only for 20% of the people, and I ain't the 20%. I'm the 80. So you can miss me with that. Just like Dirty Folks, I love that guy. Is only for women, gays, and felons, and I'm not neither one of them.
Hey, shout out to you, my brother. Thank you. But I'm email me, man. We got to talk because every time you come over, you have some different story to tell when it regards to your dad, your brother.
My ancient family. I got a lot of shit. All right, I will, man.
Family could definitely be your worst enemy, man. For real.
Yeah, I'm busy actually doing Instacart. I'm almost at my destination to drop off some groceries. So I'll see you later, man.
Yes, sir. Be safe out there. Shout out to Harold Jackson, man.
All right, man.
Yes, sir.
One.
Peace out. One. KP, go ahead and speak your piece, brother. Unmute. KP, you there?
Go ahead, Palmer. I'm just listening, man.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you want to say something else, Okay, my man Rush.
Yo, what's good, Mr. Palmer? It's been an ill minute since I hopped on your platform, man. But man, yo, keep doing your thing, man. Keep spreading this gospel, man. Like this is information that the youth need to hear, man, so they could be woken up and stay sucker free. Staying sucker free is my campaign, you know what I mean? And
yes,
I just want dudes to be aware what's going on when they dealing with these BMTs, man. Know what I mean? Yo, I got a little story to tell. Know what I mean? It's real quick or whatever. I got a good friend, right? His uncle is dealing with the same situation. Have dealt with the same situation what son's going through, but it was a factual thing that the last 2 kids he had with his ex-wife wasn't his. Know what I mean? Now, it's definitely, and like this is how most females move, man. They always sleep with a dude that's always close to you or that's always around you. Know what I mean? It just turned out that this dude was around the family a lot. Know what I mean? And fast forward, you know what I mean? He slid up in them drawers and he had the last 2 kids with her, right? Now, they had a nasty divorce, right? You know what I mean? They was married for over 10 years, right? So that means he has to pay alimony on top of that with the child support or whatever, right? Now, as he's paying his child support, on the last 2 kids, 18th birthday or whatever, they all kind of figure out that that the guy that's been raising him the whole time is not his father, because you know what I mean, we will go, because I'm close with this family too, you know what I mean, we will go to the family reunions or whatever, and it's a lot of the people in that family are stocky dudes, but the last 2 kids, you know what I mean, they skinny and tall, they look like ball players or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's a terrible thing, man, because when these females commit I think it's a heinous act, you know what I mean? Because it's dealing on a psychological warfare. You know what I mean? Like the kids that find when the seed finds out that, you know, the guy that's been raising them is not their biological father, it affects them in so many different ways, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think dudes need to be vigilant when they dealing with these you know, potential baby mama terrorists, you know what I mean? Because it's like, yo, you know, every time you slide up in them drawers, man, it's a potential that, yo, she gonna be a BMT, man. You sleeping with the enemy, you know what I mean? Stay sucker free is the campaign, you heard?
Hell motherfucking yeah. And on that note,
Truth is what it is.
truth what the fuck it is, my brother. Yes, sir.
Word up. And I also want to say this, right? I was interviewing one of the founders of the, you know, the whole red pill thing movement or whatever. And like, yo, his thing is, and this is from a biological perspective. And I think the youth should follow this principle. Like, you know, when it's a, okay, if a female, because we all know the body count matters, right? So if a female has like one body count under her belt, it's a 50% chance that if you marry her, like, yo, she's gonna divorce you 10 years down the road. Know what I mean? And that's an anomaly. Like, you ain't gonna find a chick that just only got one body under her belt, like in you know, in the States or whatever. And my thing is, yo, you know, the youth, you know, if she doesn't got a hymen, man, don't give her a diamond. Know what I mean? You gotta stay sucker free out here, you heard?
Right. Tell her Walmart. Tell her Walmart.
Hey, I got
Facto.
I got a quick phrase I want to say, and I'm gonna get out of here. People, if they from now on ask me or ask you guys, and you don't have kids or whatever, they try to make you feel shame by asking you why you never got married and had kids. All you gotta tell them, I know too much. That's all you gotta tell them.
Say that one more time, brother.
If somebody asks y'all if you don't have kids, and they try to shame you by asking why you never got married and had kids, just tell them, I know too much.
My man. That right there is true.
Truth is what it is.
Shout out to JJ, man. Appreciate you. Hey, G-Man, speak your piece before I get my ass on this couch.
All right, what's going on to the panel, man? I kind of got stuck on Harold's story. I'm like, yeah, you got to do a show about that. But listen, this is not the first time. You said something earlier. This has been going on since the 60s, and I think it went on during slavery because Master was always coming to take that shit, and now they're part of them. And I will say this to the future of the men. Listen, man, what's love got to do with it? Remember, Ike Turner died with the fact that he was the bad guy when Judge Joe Brown already said, no, Ike Turner was the good guy. It was her that was the bad person. So, and in the Wiggins situation, and I know my partner T is listening, rumors has it that it's a teammate's child, and y'all know the person. All y'all got to do is figure it out. And to the brother who said that was Jason Richardson's child, that means that other child belongs to Barbosa, who used to play also with Phoenix. So let's be realistic. Some of you guys, I'm raising my hand, you can't see me. I have to check even my own mother because of the fact she don't talk to me, but I got a very deep message from a friend of hers. Now, Miss Paul, I'm 65. Do you know this fucking female just now admitting to herself that I am her son? I'm 65, dude.
Damn.
She just not admit.
That's crazy.
I know, and it doesn't do nothing. Yeah, you know what? But the only thing it does now, because the fact is, this is how this energy pulls you back into that anger. Because the highest vibration is love. That don't mean fucking. That means the image in the mirror. Because that's God. See, you ain't just doing God's work. You are God, which God is doing in you, like they say Jesus. God said, well, shit, I got to use Mr. Palmer to tell the truth because too many men have gone to jail for great fake charges, child support charges, and all of these charges. it will be best to buy some Ray-Bans. And when you see one of them crying from help, keep your veins cold, because these Western culture females, and now globally, are responsible, are the number one reason why child trafficking is successful. Wiggins is out of that team because he did like Pippen did. Pippen's son did not want to play with Beasley because Beasley was effing with his mother. Who wants to play with somebody in the NBA like that? I'm sorry to
Yo, you're right about that, man. You're right about that. Guys, I'm not fucking nobody that's fucking my mother, and his mother very loose out there, you know.
Let's keep going. And now, Jordan, your son is now Listen, stop the cap. Stop this madness.
You can't make it up. You can't make this shit up, man. Hold on. Your teammate's teammate, and now you fucking the son of the greatest basketball player.
Are you serious?
But listen, only, and that's why black men gotta understand. If you're gonna be dealing with other groups of women, you gotta be cold all the way through. Because they feel they come into, they say, oh, when I give this album to the black woman, so they feel it's an open door. No, you gotta be cold all the way
to the grave.
They read, but listen, that's why the danger that was social now is that we give them doors open. You gotta be cold, and you have to stay cold in all avenues. If you do not do this, you're gonna find scenarios like this, where it say, I could be almost 50 and I could still pull back one of you niggas. No, bitch, you're not. You are gonna be pumping down.
Dude, not even that now. Not even that no more, because it's dangerous. Because listen, the people who drunk that drink, think of what I'm saying. I'm sending something out symbolic. The people who took that tequila shot, do you know that if you're involved with that individual who took that tequila shot, those chemicals will come up in you, and it's just like you drunk that chemical shot. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is getting deep, because masculinity is under attack, reproduction is under attack, and you have to go back to Mr. Palmer's archives on that brother who said it is scary to go to another country and procreate with even those women, because those women follow the Western culture.
But G, I'm not knocking on what man does. If you try,
me neither.
But we gotta be honest. You gotta be on your head and your mind, and what you're doing should be all intact.
You gotta be on your square,
because you don't think you leave one environment that you're safe. No, this is
no.
It's a global thing, and because the internet is so readable now, and we are just telling all our fucking business, which black people need to start cutting back. Personally, as I'm saying. Because now they said we open doors for everybody else to really fuck us over easier now. Because now
it's not totally like that. But go ahead. It's not totally like
that. It's an open book now. Because listen, people invest more time on social media than anything else, so they know what people are thinking right off the bat. That's why I limit what I post, because I know the psychology. How we can prove this? If anybody had a Facebook account or used to know Facebook for over 10 or more years, one time the first thing you see when you start your app, it'll say, what's your thinking? What's on your mind? Then they start manipulating till they say, hey, what's up? What's the first thing people do? They put, that's what's up. So right there, people could read it if they get access to it. So,
but that's women doing that. That's women doing that.
Of course. But I'm saying in general that now is people are easy readable now because they got this, and they're not using it critically.
But you're not seeing men do this. But let's go back in the archives of the internet. Yeah. Tommy was the first. They beat Tommy down. They fucked around and let 4 guys get through. One is Black Ram, Chicago. One is Crypto Game out of New York. The kicker of this is the one punch of Mr. Palmer, keep your veins cold. Then you woke up Dennis Sperling. They should have bowed down to Kevin Samuels for trying to help them, but they spit on his grave, which was now, I can say, hell, that was God too, saying, listen, let me at least try to help you, because you're bringing nothing to the table, but your children for another man. But the one fucked up thing you're bringing to the table is your waist size and your attitude, which equals Christmas Eve. This is why now I understand and embrace the Christmas Eve. I'm not going to do the Christmas Eve. I'm going to go fishing, but I get it. So every time one of them leaves the earth, it is good because we have been attacked from the time I came out the fucking womb, and there was no such thing as the internet. I just figured it out now in my years of life because you got a young Shaka Zulu, Mr. Palmer, who got the balls to put this shit on and say, let's critically analyze this. Why would Andrew Wiggins not want to play basketball? Could it be the dribble shot? Or could it be that somebody on his team was digging deep into someone that was under his roof? Common sense and logic says, I'm going to go with what's the soap opera show. Because the soap operas was putting this shit on TV before the internet in the fucking 70s.
Oh,
Same shit. Same shit. I like, oh, this is deep. This is deep. This is deep. This is why, Mr. Palmer, this is your lane. I'd rather come on as a participant in this lane because my way is for men to completely walk away, find and love yourself because they ain't gonna change, and you must take a good look. Harold already did it. He took a good look at his mother. Checkmate.
You see,
that's all I can say.
You know this Andrew Wiggins thing is so.
His last name Wiggins, bro.
I think that's what I said. What did I
I
say?
thought you said Williams.
No, I said Wiggins. I'm sorry.
My bad.
But I said Wiggins because I'm not. I don't follow the NBA like that, but I do like the Warriors. So I do like the Warriors. So and now I know people are coming out and saying that that's not totally true, but I gotta believe that there's some truth to this. Andrew Wiggins is not one of these. He's not one of these type of players. He's one of the top players, and for him to not be at basketball or for family and personal reasons, for this to come out to be rumored out like this, it's got to be some truth to it. It's got to be. And my instincts are telling me that those may or may not be his kids, but I can almost guarantee that it's true that his best friend was fucking his wife.
And think about this.
Goes to show. Hold on. This just goes to show, and this is something I've been on for a while. This just further illustrates just how unavoidable women, Black American women in general, and in particular Black American women are. They're undateable, unavoidable, and you need to absolutely get away from them.
It's not a Black thing, though. It's a culture thing.
No,
it really is.
That's the reason why I said general. That's why I said American women in general, but in particular Black, but American women in general. Also, they should be avoided. Now, I agree that you find this everywhere around the world. They are copying American American feminism, but it is not as saturated as people may think it is. Because there are spots where it is right outside their door, but still they are still beholden to their culture, and their culture runs them. Now, I can go in my situation, but I've seen it outside of my situation, where men say, look, I'm gonna go overseas, and they do their due diligence
over there.
They marry a woman where they may be in a country where American feminism exists, but not within their culture, and they don't ascribe to the feminist ideology.
Right.
Are you in California? To traditional marriage and traditional family where they were actually trained to be wives.
When over here they train to get the bag, and think about this too.
Train to get the bag.
Think about this.
Get everything out of a man that they can.
And think about what Wiggins is playing. Now, Palmer, I know you're gonna hit the button. Think about what Wiggins is playing in what state, and think about how they're gonna bend him over regardless. They're gonna
bend him over backwards.
So why not just go
married there? Possibly, yeah.
If they cohabitating, it's a done deal. He might as well stop playing because most of that is going to be shifted to her. And one thing he has, he is from Toronto. There's two things he got in his pocket.
I ain't, but I get you. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, he got mom and he got dad. They're they're island people. He's come from the island blood.
No,
they don't play.
His parents from Barbados.
Yeah, okay, but the island, still island.
He also has the money to fight to get complete custody of those kids.
Yes,
we're talking mob ran California, y'all.
Behind the scenes, anyway. He may be conferring lawyers to do just that, to protect himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If he knows somebody's trusted, like if he's part of a team with some people that, and this is what happens when a lot of black men don't have enough positive relation or mentors around there, especially the ones that's the OGs that should be guiding a lot of these young dudes anyway, that they'll give them enough game so that way they could if things like this happen, then what are the next steps, next moves? You get me?
Now, is he actually married to her?
No, she's not. But it's evident if he does the paternity test and it's not his, then like Ms. Palmer said earlier, he can go for another avenue to try, deal with that.
And the kid that is his, if the kids aren't his, then he's done.
No, one of them.
But you have to think like a judge.
Custody for that kid.
Please join the Chaos Reign show. As you can tell, you see the amount of nice badge and custom emojis. Ooh. So as you can tell, join the Chaos Reign show. As you know, there are some perks. As you know, there are 2 tiers of membership. Membership 1, $2.99. As you know, the first membership, as it tells from the description, exclusive members only videos, and also some videos that will be only depending on the situation will be put on members. Not every video will be members only, but the ones that are members only or custom members only videos, you'll see mostly on the first tier. Stage 1, called Enter the Chaos, stage 1. Now, the other one, the $7.99 one. As you know, there's early access to new videos, member shout-outs, photos, status updates, maybe. I had to edit. I might not put no photos, maybe updates. I might. We'll see, depending on how many people join the top tier one. And like always, exclusive members and members only live streams. And personally, as this builds up, I might do the live streams members only here more, mostly, roughly, than what's given here. But we have videos, so depending what is I could put on here, it post mostly will be on the first tier. The second tier, depending on how much is built up, there might be more exclusive live streams. Might be a little raw cut, uncut stuff, maybe on the members only True Chaos uncut version, which it speaks for itself. And another thing, if y'all did not know, there's a way why I priced the 2 memberships the way they are. If you could really understand the subliminal numbering of why I choose the first tier $2.99 and the other one $7.99, I'll say this. I doubt people's gonna figure it out, but let's say for the sake of conversation, they come across why I came up with these pricings. I might give you maybe exclusive, maybe a shout out, or maybe more. Who knows? Maybe something special. Who knows? So, contemplate why I priced my channel the way it is. There's a certain codified code I use the numbers for a reason. I can't give you more detail than what I just gave you now. So I want you to think deeply on that when you catch the replay of this video. So those are membership.
To be honest, no, I don't.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Let me get Chaos up and let me see what Chaos Reign got to say about it. Chaos, what's good?
Hey, what's good, man? It's good for you covering this on Red, because I have some content. I cover some in regards to Miss King, But in regards to the whole conversation, you gotta understand a lot of influencers, Red, that's what they hear. They're here to influence. And what they hear is to not only influence, but to spread greater propaganda. Because what they said is valid in a substance that really is affecting one's lives, especially if you're under the age of 35. And you know, she's been doing this now for over a decade, Yanni, Red. So she's in her 30s now. And I tell you, what's all this has actually improved the dynamics of young women that are your age or a little older. Had the outcomes changed in the first 5 or 10 years since they've been doing as a social media influencer? If the answer is yes, no, or no, that tells me you need to stop lying. Right now, people are trying to seek for actual answers. Kevin Samuels did not get from 50,000 subscribers back in 2020 to up to 1 million in less than a year or two for nothing, because people are looking for the actual honest truth. And it takes a few people on the right time with the right image, the right how you have it set up, could bring forth. And remember, he was that nigga at that time, you know?
Yeah.
So now that he's gone, you always got to pay attention to people that's been active or now starting to rise, questioning what is your real outcome. Because the people that's been pushing the femininity, the self-improvement, they're now gearing and pushing away from that. Especially the non-black content creators, like the ones that you see that's pearling on them. They're stepping away from that now and trying to go to a different arena.
Yeah.
And I always ask, why are they doing that? Because all that talking points they stole from mostly black men, it was only for the season. And now that few have gone that was rarely noticed, they got to change their platform now. Because it was never real from the start.
Yeah,
they don't really believe that crap. Because think about Red, you do this constantly night in, night out. And you know where you stand as a content creator who will pass and bring you where you need to be, right? Because you're not going to sugarcoat stuff, you know? Same with Virgil. I've been on Virgil. These messages, they're not going to get much attention as people want to expect, because they want to hear the clout. They want to hear the fakeness. They know it's fake. Hell, did you know, Red, that they're pushing out that a few big women that's got married to slim black men that said that any woman could get this now?
Yeah. They trying to, that like, come on, that is like, come on. We know that's not the norm, but hey.
What's not the norm? Big women and small men?
Small men will sleep with big women, but they don't want to wife big women.
Well, that's not, well, I guess maybe the majority of them won't, but I see large size, big size women with small men married.
Yeah, but they just hitting it. They just having fun with it. They hitting it.
In a marriage? In a marriage, they're just hitting it, having fun?
Yeah, not only that, hey, man, everybody, let's say this, but every skinny nigga done got some yams from Big Shirley before.
For sure. But it's not that though. See, the dudes you see with these chicks, they're not like the type of guy.
The echelon of men. No, men that's been really productive. That's saying that they really want to sit down and say, I want to create family in the long run. It's like this. You're good once the lights are turned off, but once that sunrise, I'm gone. Like a heap of night.
If you pay like you weigh, then you can stay, baby.
Yeah, doesn't. I don't know. I mean, you all are encouraging men to only look at women for their physical. When it's more to it, when he can probably be more productive and have a better life and a better family with a woman, you know, that's that may not be physically attractive.
So let's all right. So hold on, guys.
Let me say this. I'm gonna pass it to you, Chaos. She said men shouldn't be so superficial. The best woman for you might not be the woman that's attractive. Okay, fine. Tell black women, stop going for the broke. Stop going for the rich nigga. Broke niggas might treat you better. How about that?
A lot of black women are dealing with broke black women. The average black man is broke.
Stop dating broke niggas. Listen, let me tell you this. The average American is broke. Do you realize that this doesn't just apply to black men? Most men, only 10% of men. Hold on, Chaos. Only 10% of men, regardless of color, makes over 100K or better. And you want to think about the wealth gap is pretty close, considering the fact that whites had a 500-year head start. The average white man only makes a few thousand more than the black man with the head start they had. What are you talking about?
Nah, that's not true. The average black man is living. If the average American is broke, the average black man, he's living in poverty.
Go ahead, Virgil. Get her. Go ahead, Virgil.
Baby girl, man. This is what I be saying with y'all chicks, man. I don't know what stats y'all be looking at, what numbers and analytics y'all be looking at. But as a guy who actually still works, and I work in a factory setting industry.
Factory. Okay.
When I say factory, I mean like warehousing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is the average white guy is making a couple bands more than the average black guy. The average American man, whether he's black or white, is living like right almost above the poverty level. And these are the white guys that y'all call these so-called B-rads and all of that stuff too, and try to exalt over the average black man who's actually his equal.
And where are you getting your numbers from?
I'm not getting from no numbers, but I'm talking about from my physical life that I live every day.
Well, let's be real and let's just go by statistics, because according to statistics, black men, the average black man, don't even have a job.
What statistics are these looking at? What statistics is that? What's your source of these statistics?
I have to look it up and see, but based on the statistics, when I look at the news and when I see when I read these magazines and everything, the black man just is not doing
like I said, y'all can't even articulate.
Black man is not graduating from high school. The black man, and I was reading some article that said the black man is actually costing the government or America over $50 billion. I think a year. Or is it $50 million?
You believe
$50 billion
a year. Let me say this, Virgil. Let me say this real quick, and I'm gonna pass it to you. I'm gonna pass it to you, and then I want JB to speak, and I'm gonna pass it to this. Do you notice that black women believe every negative stat about black men, but when it's something
isn't that what you all do?
We gotta look into that. Hold on. When it's a positive stat about black men, we need to look into that to make sure that source is correct.
Give me a positive stat about black men.
Hold on. When it's something negative, they're gonna believe it 100%. There's no need to look into it. Black men are guilty. Every time there's a negative stat, black women run with it. Go ahead, Burge.
A positive stat about black men per the CDCP. Black men are the most involved fathers in their children's lives.
There's no way you can measure involvement. Let's move on.
You actually can.
There is no way that you can measure involvement.
So how did the CDC do it then?
You cannot. I don't even believe the CDC said that.
You can go check it on their website.
I don't even believe that. I don't believe it. You all keep, that's the only stat you all keep coming up with. I don't even believe it. And if the CDC did say it, they were trying to encourage you all to do better.
Let me say this, baby. For one, it's kind of hard to take what you're saying serious if you're not cammed up. I'm gonna just say that right there. So
wait a minute. The Black Authority doesn't cam up, and you all take everything he has to say seriously.
You said take who seriously?
The Black Authority.
Who's the Black Authority?
Jason Black.
I don't even know who Jason Black is.
Red does.
Okay, it doesn't matter who he is. We over here on my main Red platform right now, though, right? So it really don't matter who Jason Black is, and if he don't cam up, you need to cam his ass up too, right? What I'm saying is, y'all chicks come on these platforms and y'all be trying to sound all smart and stuff, and you can't even really articulate yourself or quote the sources of the stats that you're stating.
But you on here giving me information, talking about you giving me facts, and I said, where you get the facts from? Oh, it's just my experience.
No, but see, I also gave you facts from the CDC website that you can go check out yourself. And the reason why I said that is I'm not basing what I'm saying off of stats. I'm basing off saying what I see in what we call observable reality. This is stuff I see in my life. This is actual things that I see in my job where I work.
But maybe you live in a small circle. We're talking about.
No, I don't live in a small circle, but I live in Columbus, Ohio, the 14th
we're not talking about inside your bubble. We're not talking about inside your bubble.
Listen, I live in Columbus, Ohio, the 14th largest city in this nation. We got like 1.2 million people in my city. It's not a small area where I'm from. I'm from one of the biggest demographics in America.
But do you know America is a lot bigger than Columbus, Ohio?
Exactly. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. So with that being said, Columbus, Ohio is a small microcosm of what goes on in all the other major cities.
Okay.
Right? So with that being said, ma'am, whoever you are, right? The average white man and average black man is like,
they are not neck.
Yeah, we are.
That is a dilute. They are not neck and neck. There's no way they're neck and neck. And we're constantly
neck and neck.
And we're constantly talking about, and Jason Black is constantly talking about white supremacy. Tariq Nasheed is constantly talking about white supremacy. Oh, we can't get ahead because of the white man. The white man, if you were neck and neck, if you were pretty much neck and neck, what are all the complaints about? Why are we talking about white supremacy? Why are we talking about?
Hold on. Let me say this, JB. Let me say this, JB. My shows are not about white supremacy. I correct people when they say racist things, but my show is mainly putting men up on game. We don't sit around crying about white supremacy. Tariq Nasheed is actually giving brothers solutions. This is how we can get money. Now you did a lot of this. Hold on. I gotta pause you for a second. You said a lot of things about these black men that has done way more for black people than Cynthia G. I haven't heard you out Cynthia G for one thing that was negative, but instead you went at black men that are way more productive than her.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
show me.
Hold on. Chaos. Let me bring the boss Calvin up real quick. Go ahead, brother. And then we're gonna
Hey, great to thank you for having me on, Red. What up, people? Great show. I had to I'm cammed up. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Gotta cam up. If you listen, you gonna talk heavy, you gotta cam up, man.
Exactly. And I'm just gonna say this. I know it's relevant to the topic, but my thing is, how can y'all? I'm assuming that y'all speak about. I know you, Cynthia G. I'm not. I want to be. Now I could say some real stuff, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go down that road, But I'll let the Most High deal with her. That's number one. How can you support Cynthia G? She is very anti-black, and on top of that, all the stuff that she's said and done, and I've actually talked to her child's father. And I called out his BS too.
Oh.
How can you even talk about deadbeats and all the stuff she says and advocated unaliving of unborn black male babies? Then I had one of the other pro-black says no big deal. So when I said let's flip it, if I were to say, or any other man, even on this panel, were to say, we advocate unborn baby black girls be aborted, how would that make us look? Anybody can answer this question, but I can tell you that I'll have my channel deleted. Probably the FBI will show up to my place of residence.
Sir, the FBI should have been tracking black men down for decades now, because black men have shown.
Really?
Oh, we got to send G support. And listen. Let me tell you something.
Although you don't say aborted black.
Let me do this. I gotta. Hold on, JB. Let me say this. Cynthia G has promoted the abortion of black male babies. Cynthia G has celebrated the death of black men. I've never heard Tariq Nasheed, never seen Jason Black celebrate the death of black people, but yet you have smoke for them and not Cynthia G.
I've heard Jason Black.
That's because that's what they do. This is sisterhood. The non-existent sisterhood.
Listen. She has smoke for black men that's never wished death on black women, but she has absolutely no smoke for Cynthia G, who has wished death on black men and black male babies. Go ahead.
And I'll add this too. She the one who bragged. Cynthia G is the same heifer who bragged about being a Negro bed wrench for money. So how can you take this B seriously? Come on now.
That's because most of them most of them have the same mindset as her, because they've been indoctrinated with this demon Jezebel spirit, and they all to some degree wouldn't mind twerking for it instead of working for it.
Oh yeah, exactly. And here's the thing: no disrespect to Rob, I don't have a problem with Rob, but how can you even take her seriously after she had her child out of wedlock?
Wedlock.
That's because Rob got several kids out of wedlock.
Angela, go ahead, Angela. I'm gonna give it to Angela. Go ahead, Angela.
Oh, I wanted to speak on this whole
you got it. Whatever you want to
the
talk
Melanie
about,
thing.
You got it.
I don't know. I just don't see her any different from a lot of YouTubers who do the whole preachy thing. And then when people run background checks on them, then we find out they're literally no different from the people that they talk about. Like when I saw that clip of her going off on the girl with the blue hair, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I agree with what she's saying. But then at the same time, she's no different from that female. Because my question is, why did your husband leave you?
That's
like either she cheated or there's something that's going on with her. Because men don't normally just jump and leave out of a relationship, and they damn sure don't give full custody of their kids. Those two things just don't happen back to back. But I had knew she was a chameleon when Kevin Samuels died. That's when I knew. I was like, okay, no, this chick is definitely fake. And that was because just the way she was, it was the way she did her stream. She had titled it that Kevin Samuels is dead. But when I clicked on her stream, because I was thinking, okay, if anybody would know that he died for sure, it would be people close to him. So I clicked on it just to watch her stream, and then come to find out she didn't even know. She's over here making phone calls, and yeah, we're all about to find out that he died. I'm like, wait a minute, what is this woman doing? This is tacky. I felt like she should have made those phone calls private, offline. And then if she wanted to do a stream on Kevin, you know what I mean? Then come online like, yes, I talked to his mother, it was confirmed, and blah blah blah. She didn't do that. It was just tacky, and she was trying to make herself cry and, you know, get all, you know, hyped up, and she couldn't even fake that. There was no tears in her eyes. I'm thinking this chick is hella fake. This is really crazy. I was like, her followers don't see what she's doing. So even then I had knew she was fake, but my thing is she got all this plastic surgery for who though? She didn't do it for her husband. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're just like these females. You're, you know, pointing the finger and yelling at. It's like you're just like them. And now she's being exposed. I mean, she's been exposed to the max. It's like, geez, like I wasn't even expecting those type of receipts to be revealed. So
yeah, that's crazy. You know, when I heard about like, that's a good point. Like when you said, because like, men don't usually leave their wives. She got to do something real fucked up for a man to just leave her. And another good point you made, how he just got custody of the kids. She must have did something real fucked up for that to happen.
Right.
Because I don't see the judge just giving the kids to the man unless he can prove that she's pretty damn trifling. So I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just like my observation. But yeah, I do feel you on that. Like, hold on, you're divorced and he got the kids. What's going on now? And I'm not even her business like that. I'm just saying, if you're gonna give women advice about men, maybe we need to know that. So
right.
I understand that. Let me let's pass. Who want to go next?
Red, before you continue, can you take
go ahead, Chaos. Go ahead.
There's something here. I can't see people's name because you have this thing on here showing Stephanie Love. If you put bring down, we can say everybody's name. It's kind of blocking it. There we go. To JB, where you from, JB? East Coast or down south?
East Coast, the southern East Coast.
Oh, sorry, East Coast. All right. Well, I'm not sure that's. I would say probably North Carolina, South Carolina. Maybe one of theirs. All right. Well, you know the scene. The ladies that complain the most, and let's be honest, I don't want to say it. Some don't even qualify for the mandate they ask for, because
some really don't what now?
Qualify for the mandate they really ask for, because really
that they ask for.
Yeah, if they really want something like they want, you have to put yourself in position to even qualify to be the possibility to get what you want on the average. And usually that is not guaranteed. The point is that,
sir, the average man doesn't get the woman he wants.
Well, most average men do what they can to get what they can get.
But
and
they
most,
do what
most,
they can.
Most average men,
they don't get the woman they want.
Most average men, they get what they can get. And if they had to do more to get something, it's still possible, but usually that's not guaranteed. See, man, we can't live in delusionals. We do what was possible.
But you live in delusion.
You know what I mean? Well, no. Women live in delusion more than men. Because men know what they can get and what they could do to get it. And if they can't get, you know, it is what it is. But women, they will sit here for decades and decades and hope with a possibility. I think one time there was a video of one woman that was in her 60s that was married for a while and then was no longer in no relationship for like 20 or more years. And now she's waiting for all this value, high value, and no one's there for contending because you tapped out. So at the end of the day, you know, we can have this conversation back and forth, but men are more realistic at the end of the day. I'll pass it forward.
Is that why they're making robotic dolls and blow up dolls for men?
It's good for you. Ask that.
The reason they make those roses for women.
Go ahead. And the Chaos. Give them the last word, and I'm gonna pass it to Virgil.
Yeah, go ahead, Virgil. Go ahead, Virgil.
I just said that's the reason they make those roses for y'all chicks.
What is
they
a rose?
Robotic sex toys for women, just like they do for men. Matter of fact, more so for women than.
But
Right.
it still points to the fact that men live in delusion too. We all live in delusion.
Everybody lives in delusion, man.
Yeah.
I would never sit up here and argue that. A lot of these male Jezebel, non-content creating ass niggas on YouTube live in delusion.
Yeah.
You know, but not all of us though. But I would dare say that women live way more in delusion than
Oh,
men.
here we go. I mean, everything negative you place
It's
on
not even
women.
a negative thing though.
Whoa,
JB.
you
It's
live
kind
in
of like you
delusion.
screwed up because for one, there's more women than there is men. So naturally, just by numbers alone, more women would be delusional than men.
I'm a woman,
Correct.
and I actually
What about we go a percentage
agree with
wise?
that.
JB,
Hey,
why
Angela,
don't
say
you
something.
cam up? JB, how about you cam up so we can actually take you a little
Exactly.
bit more serious?
I'm not camming up. I have too much
Of
to
course you
lose.
won't. Of course you won't. Of course you
Yeah.
won't.
It's all good,
That's,
baby.
that's
It's
all good though,
who
baby.
You know,
wants to go
Angela
next?
said something. Angela just said something. Angela said
Oh
something.
no, I was saying that I'm a woman, and I agree with Stacks with the fact that women are more delusional than men. They really are.
Okay.
It's not even up for debate, man.
If that get the men on your side, it doesn't do anything.
It has
Oh
nothing to
my
do with getting the
God.
men on my
Anymore.
side. It's a fact. It's a
Hey, y'all,
fact
and this is what I
because
want to
let
encourage
me
y'all, man. Stop
hold
allowing
on.
chicks like
Let
JB
Angela
to.
go. Let Angela.
Okay, my
Let
bad. Go
Angela.
ahead, Angela.
No, I was going to use the example of how men know that they're fat, and they know since they are fat and they may look a certain way, then they are going to get what they're going to get. Women are delusional. Women who are fat, and let's just say she has like 2 kids, think that she deserves the world, and she's delusional, thinking she's going to get this high standard man that she's not going to get. Men and women are different, and plus, some fat women don't even know that they're fat. Men know that they are fat. That's the difference. Women tend to be delusional, men aren't. It's just fact.
I don't get that. A woman doesn't know that they're fat.
They don't know
You
that
mean
they're
they're
fat. They
overweight?
call themselves
That
thick.
they're
They're
overweight?
not thick. They're fat. That's
I don't see what that has. I mean,
I
okay.
was using that as an example of how men know that they're fat and women don't.
What's you act like being fat is just like a death sentence.
It is.
Oh Lord, I was using it
Every
as
time
an
we turn around,
example.
someone's
It could
calling
be.
somebody fat.
It could be.
What
But
about
fat
these?
can be
What
a
about
death
these super
sentence.
skinny people that are extremely underweight?
I'll say this too. Let me answer what she's saying. I have a weight problem, but it stems from trauma, abuse. I'm on medication. That's what caused me, and then past abuse, but that I'm working on to heal. That's the difference. And I do try my best to work out and get educated on filter water, food, diet literacy, and lifestyle. That's the moment. My brother, he is skinny. He's taller than me. My young brother is he's tall and is skinny. He gets picked on for being underweight. There is a thing of body shaming that is wrong across the board. I mean, but however, we gotta be real here. You got skinny people who get bullied, just like people who are overweight who get bullied. We have an unrealistic of a standard that's been, airbrush, beauty baths, and all that BS. But my thing is, skinny people do get bullied. But my thing is, on the delusion, it's so funny because I get smoke from the simps about my weight or my mental health, call me Kanye West and all this other nonsense. But women think, I was talking to a woman on tag and she got 2 kids and I said, no judgment here. Okay. But if we're going to, get to know each other, yeah. But my thing is, she told me that she's a traditional woman. And I said, how can you be a traditional woman? You're not a 20-year-old version. You got kids from previous relationships. So, and then you're saying, I will find this particular man, airbrush, beauty baths, and all that BS. But my thing is, skinny people do get bullied. But my thing is, on the delusion, it's so funny because I get smoke from the simps about my weight or my mental health, call me Kanye West and all this other nonsense. But women think, I was talking to a woman on tag and she got 2 kids and I said, no judgment here. Okay. But if we're going to, get to know each other, yeah. But my thing is, she told me that she's a traditional woman. And I said, how can you be a traditional woman? You're not a 20-year-old version. You got kids from previous relationships. So, and then you're saying, I will find this particular man, when I want to, in a couple of years from now. I said, how would you know? And I asked her, what are you doing? Do you understand what you're up against? Because I understand what I'm up against. So what are you doing? You don't have to tell me like in intimate details, but what are you doing? Because you have to have intention to get to point A to point B. She can't answer that question. You do got a lot of heifers who are big and skinny, but we're gonna stick on the fat heifers who think that they deserve the world. That men should just kiss their behind.
Wait, hold up. Just because you're fat, you don't deserve anything.
Hell
You should not have
no.
any aspirations. You should not have any hopes, no dreams. Just because you're fat.
Let's go there. Since we don't know what you look like and you're defending fat people.
No. I'm just saying because that's what she's talking about. This lady stated that fat women are delusional.
JB, since you defend them, and we now the question: are you a big woman? Because
no.
I'm
just saying.
Usually the people that are big, they will fight tooth and nail about this. And
No.
That guy, Big Boss said, he knows he's big, he knows where he stands. And we all know that in our communities, there is a problem with obesity, and it's leading to the cause of death.
There's problems with obesity for
I hear
men
people
and
try
women.
to scapegoat and say, well, skinny people could get these same problems. Yeah, but not at the same rate as big people. And we are a big country, fat country, where all the illness arrives. One that the biggest killers besides cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes. There's all related that we could maintain and control. But we refuse to because we think that because we're like 60 or even 100 pounds, which now that's the average now in Americans, that we're good and it's not about us, but it's going to affect us in the long run as we get older. So when we look at the body shaming on stuff, certain shaming does play effect for good reasons. You get me? Because everybody has to look their best. And usually when somebody talk about you, it lets us know saying there's certain things we have to do, you know what I'm saying, to change it, or we're going to continue to get the abuse. That's when we are. Just like a bully. A bully's going to keep punching unless you do something. That's how you look at it. Red, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump down because I want some other people to come in because it's like a short rotation because only 6 people could fit up here. So I'll do that now. All right. But thank you for having me up.
Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Chaos, man.
The replacement killer. But I get your perspective, but go ahead.
I think like our capitalist system has people in this like blame and punish cycle that's really not helpful for anybody. And like if you want things to go well, you have to make smart policies that are good for people like in the real world.
Okay.
So we can say, oh, the woman should have chose better and oh, he should have chose better, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of reasons why people aren't marrying anymore. There's a lot of reasons why men or women could not want like what people say we're supposed to want. One thing I wanted to know, Deidre, I guess is what I came up here to ask you, was because you know my advice would be for different reasons really aligned with what the manosphere says. Like I think women should stop having kids outside of marriage. But I wonder, do men really want that? Because there would be like many fewer children. Like, do men, these men who have all this advice for women, do they really want the Black woman to take it? Because I do. Do they?
I'll give you an answer. Listen good. You listen? You ready?
Yeah.
Majority of men want to have the mate guard. That's why when they always look at you and they look at if they're able to get some, they're going to say, you should have chose me. Fuck that nigga. You get me? Because they in their mind, they want a harem of women to have the babies for them instead of the so-called small percentage. Because since no-fault divorce and all these laws put in place, it actually gives women the leeway that they now could choose and pick. And the person that doesn't fit the bill, unfortunately, won't get the sex unless they have to deal with this dual mating strike where they're going to have to pay for something just to get play, and that's not even guaranteed. Hey, hold on, I'm not done. So that's why when you hear, let's say, and I had to go there, when even a guy wrote a book about say that the date rule, where it said there's an ultimate where he's going to guarantee sex, and I'm saying this is some new shit to me. You get me? There are times if you're only picking a very small portion of women that you were like that, what they call fit, feminine friendly, all this stuff, right? Then your chances, if that's the intention, then it's better off you be upfront and honest. See, they don't like certain people that came and gone. Aaron Curry, regardless if you like him or not, he's dead on. Say you have to be upfront, honest, and have the balls to be upfront with your true intentions. Most men today don't have true intentions. If they can really say, yo, I like you, want to screw you, I don't want to pay nothing, how many women are going to be down with it? Very little. So what's the next approach? I got to find some other conversions to still get what I want without telling my true intentions. Now I'm going to let you talk.
Yeah, to that incel blabber, I'm just going to repeat my question. And my question was, I get it, men want that. You gave me a nice little rundown about what men want. And my advice to women would be to listen to you men talk about how you figured out to always get sex, right? I'm saying women, listen to them and stop sleeping with them.
And that's not bad, bro. Just let you know that.
Can I finish? Okay. I'll let you go for a second. So yeah, my question was, do men really want women to start choosing better? Because my advice is to stop sleeping with them. If there are so many men who are trying to tell us that our accomplishments are meaningless and all we should strive to be is beautiful, and that's what's most important about a woman, I would say women like choose better, stop fucking these niggas. They crazy. They beneath us. And we should.
I agree with that. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree on that.
So back to my question, like, do you think, sir, who just told me how men want the fit, feminine, and friendly and whatnots, and you're just gonna have to choose prostitution because that's the only way you can see it going, you, sir, do you think women should take my advice and stop fucking niggas like you?
Did I say choose prostitution? Where did I say choose prostitution?
I didn't bring up prostitution.
You just said prostitution. Deidre, do you hear? I say prostitution.
You would have to.
Did I say that? Stop right there. I didn't say prostitution. I said that this is what men's intentions and what they don't really be honest. Now, in regards to the children, a lot of dudes, like I said, I'm going to repeat again. When they always find the women that they said they like, that's the notion, right? That they in their mind say you should have had it with me. You see, don't be fooled by what they tell you. When they always hear your story and who the guy said why you didn't stay with him and they hear the sob story, that's what comes to their mind. They say you should be. Are you going to
attempt to answer my question about whether or not men want women to start choosing celibacy? Because
if you actually heard him, if you listen, he did answer the question.
Okay, you.
Thank you, Faith. Thank you.
Okay, hold on, one at a time.
I'm here to listen.
Let's slow down. Go ahead, Carrie.
No. I do feel like I missed it, and I was just asking, did he address the part about whether or not men want women to start choosing celibacy?
Most women today, celibacy is a choice. Now, I can't tell them what they should be doing. Like a woman can't tell a man what they do. Personally, I'm not here, coach, say you must do this, do that. No, I stopped doing that on a while back because I know people are going to do what is their best interest. So me guiding and holding hands, say, stop doing this and you get a better result. I'm lying to you, sweetie. There is no perfect world. There is no, everything we do, there's always risk, there's reward, and there's nothing going to be guaranteed in this life, in this and the next fucking life.
Okay.
Celibacy is pretty risk-free. It's like up there at around 100%.
Well, my position is that women should be a lot more selective. I'm not going to necessarily say purely be celibate, but if that's what you choose to do and that's something you can do, that's per individual. But I do think that women need to be a lot more selective with the type of men that they are dealing with, and particularly in having sex. I think that the culture we have now, men. And but we're speaking on women first, as far as the men too. Men need to be selective too, but it relates to women because women consent to sex.
Agreed.
So my position is that women, I do think that women should be, I'm not gonna say need, but I think it would be in the best interest for women to be a lot more stricter about who they have sex with, to eliminate a lot of these issues that they encounter by opening yourself
as
up.
With men. Like, why can't that be fair for both people to need to be more responsible?
I thought we were speaking on women as far as
and I agree with you, but can we not agree that, I mean, in general, people in the community being more responsible would be good for the community regardless of gender as well. I agree. Like, that's not a gendered point.
And I also think that with men should be focused on self-development and not sexual conquest. I think that in our community, a lot of men who
who are highly distracted by that instead of focusing on developing themselves overall, not just financially, but it's just on their behavior, their value system, and how they pretty much conduct themselves in society, period. So I guess it does go both ways in regards to that. And I think that our community, we are not disciplined in that area. And it yields a lot of bad outcomes.
Okay, black people just be out here having sex for sport. Let's not even play.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I don't know why they play the who do it first and who gonna be protected. Everybody is responsible for their genitals. And
Your audio is going in and out. Your audio is going in and out.
Is that better?
Yeah, you good.
Yes, perfect.
I said the men and the women be out here having sex for sport. Okay. I don't know. I don't understand, and I think it's insane to have the argument over who should be protected and who shouldn't wear.
Did her audio went back out, or is this me? That's her.
It is kind of going in and out, but I can hear it. I can still hear.
I can hear if everybody else is quiet.
I don't understand those particular arguments because everybody's responsible for their own genitals, and we all know that sex is for procreation. So if you don't want a baby, you probably shouldn't be doing things to get a baby, be you male or female.
Right.
Because the only people that's suffering behind this madness and this insanity are these children.
Right.
And when we got stats that say our children can't read past 3rd and 8th grade levels, I think we need to be more concerned about these children and how we bring them in the world more than who should wear a condom and who should accept sex. Like, this is stupid.
Oh, I wish we could hear you.
Yeah, you kind of you are fading out. You may be in a bad spot.
She was cooking. I'm gonna switch devices.
Go ahead, Faith. You have a comment, Faith?
Well, yeah, I wanted to say to sometimes I get carried away's point. You know, I do agree that we need to hold women accountable for what we do and the decisions that we make. But to answer the question, I know she asked the men, but I heard Chaos kind of say it. He did kind of say it. Basically, what I heard him say was these men are basically going to try to get sex regardless. Yeah. So they're not even thinking on that level of procreation or anything. They typically leave it up to us. So no, they don't want it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
They don't want it. They don't want it to. So we as women, we as women, we have to be very, very careful. Like you said, to your point about who we give our bodies to, and most importantly, who we procreate with. We have several different forms of birth control as women. Take your pick. If you can't take birth control pills because it messes up your hormones, they got the IUD. If you don't like the IUD, you can do something else. You can get the shot. There's a whole goddamn litmus list of things that we can do to keep from getting pregnant. But my thing is, do we want?
Oh, go. I'm sorry,
right, but my question is, do we as women, do we want to keep from getting pregnant? Because I get so sick and tired. I got so many people in my family with the goddamn excuse. The condom broke.
Yeah.
The condom is only 99 or 98% effective and all this type of thing. And these people are always the 1% and 2% that it didn't work for. How you the 1% and 2%? I done met so many goddamn 1% and 2%ers in my life. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I have something for that too. I think that one thing that happens is, especially with younger people, younger women, you get a lot of toxic messaging about how being a mother is natural. And if you get like people still be lying to younger women about what motherhood is really like, in my opinion.
They don't make no sense.
I don't know why they do, but they do. And we keep lying to each other. Like a lot of this,
Well, we not gonna sit up here and act like we ain't know firsthand that it ain't a bed of roses when we watch our mamas raise us by herself. So that don't even make sense. Women got every excuse
that's real.
to not be accountable for their bodies and want to play shift the blame games with these men. Men are responsible for their genitals, just like women are responsible for their genitals. Because we know when they come together, They coming together for the purpose of procreation, not just to be having sex for sport, which is
I
what
agree
black
with
folks
everything
do.
y'all said. Yeah, here's what I'm adding as somebody that works with young people, and I could be wrong. I just want to make it clear. I'm agreeing with y'all. And if you're saying, well, men can't be the gatekeepers because they always want sex, well, young women can't be the gatekeepers because they want to be loved. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if it's coming out right. And in my experience, these younger women who are having these babies by men they're not married to have delusional fantasies about being loved by a child. Like, in my experience, they're a child. They can't understand consequences. They don't see the connection between their mother life being hard and their life being hard. They children. In my experience.
Well, what children? Because we don't have a whole bunch of teenage pregnancies anymore.
Well, I'm talking about the ones who
Yeah,
do.
you're right about that.
I'm saying are not prepared to be the gatekeepers, because girls do still have kids, not at 13, but like 16 and 17 and 18 and dropping out, like, still happens a lot. I know for a fact.
Okay, you get married at 16 and 17. Is he proposing to you at 16 and 17 because did anybody teach these girls to put a value on themselves? And if they did, that's a parenting failure. Once again,
Yeah, that's
black people
what it is. Yeah,
out here
exactly.
having sex for sport. And if it's a parenting failure, then conversations like this need to happen so we can learn that we need to do better by our children, because it don't make no sense.
Yeah,
All
I'm
these
just saying young
arguments
women
about who
aren't any better
responsible and
prepared
all
than
of
young
this.
men. It would have to be the parents. Exactly. I totally agree. Like, no young man or young woman can understand consequences. That's what makes them young.
I also think that with the peer pressure for boys to have sex, I think that with having a pump and dump like pimp like, it's okay for the boy to mess around with a lot of different girls. I think that being prevalent in our culture, particularly through music and just being passed down generation, that to me is a recipe for disaster for a lot of guys and kids, because that didn't start when they became an adult. That mindset was embedded in them when they start dating, particularly in middle school or high school. You know what I'm saying? And I do think that on the man side of it, having this thought that having sex, particularly at that age, which they should not be, that there needs to be a different mindset toward dating given to boys, so that they don't also be, regardless of, yes, a woman is responsible for her own genitalia and who she consents to, but also as a guy, you should also not look at that being a sign of just merely that alone being a sign of manhood or being manly, because it's more than just that in itself. And having multiple partners and sharing yourself amongst several different women and girls, that is not necessarily a good practice.
But for my son, I just tell him, do you like your money? Then if you like your money, you better keep your sperm to yourself. Because once you let it go, she got your wallet for the next 18 to 26 years, whether you like her or not.
Oh, that's really ugly. He don't even
Queen Sunkiss. Yeah, you're the Ross. He said, listen, you want your money? You better keep that, or you're gonna pay 18 or probably 20 years.
I mean,
right, and that's the only thing that you can do with the men, because the only responsibility that they truly have, that they can be made to do is financial. But with us, we left holding the actual bag. So we not only have the financial responsibility, but we have the actual raising of the child responsibility, because as soon as that child is born, that's our baby. That's our child. So that's the reason why,
do y'all feel like people tell young girls the truth about that? Like, we just sat here and listened to how the young men feel. Do people tell the girls about that?
Let me tell you something. Most people are not involved enough to their children's development. They learn their ways of life through social media, television, and the internet. Viva YouTube. Let's keep it real.
I don't know.
But no, yes, they do. Yes, they do. They do, because you heard that phrase, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. That's an old phrase. We have been telling our daughters this for years.
Yeah, because I was raised and told that. I was also told, you get pregnant, I ain't rocking no babies. Same message I pass on to mine. I didn't do that. I didn't set that example for you. And if you do that, you're on your own with it, because I'm not dealing with that.
My dad
That's
told
a
me
hard life.
my dad told me a child is the best gift a woman could give a man. So I should never have a kid to a man I wasn't married to. And I just can't even like I never got pressured to have kids from my parents, but to think about babies in terms of financial obligation instead of legacy just seems so broken to me. Respectfully.
But it is a financial obligation.
I can't say it's not.
Like I don't know why we got such an issue with the truth. Children cost money. And if you ain't got none, it's gonna make
You ain't
that
lying.
much harder.
You ain't lying.
It's gonna make it that much harder to rear that child if you ain't got none. It's gonna make it that much harder on you as a woman if you lay down and procreated for somebody that don't care about you and ain't got no money on top of you.
Yeah.
It is a financial responsibility. It's an emotional responsibility. It's a physical responsibility. It's a lot.
I feel like if it's done right, it should also be a pleasure. That's all I'm saying. Like, damn, that just sounds.
But you know what? Sometimes I get carried away. Here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. A lot of our girls already know this. Their mothers have told them. Their fathers damn sure told them. But it's an emotional thing with the women. A lot of times these women are scheming and calculating. They're sitting up here thinking, if I have his baby, I will be connected to him. And he will love me because I have his child. This is the warped sense of thinking. And see, we have to deal with the psychology of that effect. You know, instead of just saying
like
don't
people
do
use
it.
a different energy when they talk about how a man is naturally his way. It's just like unapologetically, that's how it is, and we have to accept it. And we all know women have their way, but ours just I don't know. That's why I don't have kids. So respectfully, I'm just up here talking shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. That whole thing is just like some shit I'm glad I avoided. For real. Good Lord.
Well, your father, he did his job. He did his job with you.
He sure did. He sure did for that one.
Because you have that understanding, you have that sense of self-love and sense of self-worth about yourself. But there are a lot of women out here, a lot of young girls growing up, they don't have people giving them or instilling in them any type of love or self-worth. And so the only type of love or self-worth they feel they're gonna get is from a man, or they say, well, you know what, if that man is not gonna love me, my baby is gonna love me. And that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem right there.
Person than a boy. Like, we both have our natures, right? But us wanting to love, that's natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of those is
no, it's not natural to depend on a person that may or may not love you, or even a baby. You putting a lot of responsibility on a baby to love you. You are supposed to love that baby.
Facts. And if she ain't have a father's love, what she just supposed to summon that shit up? I totally agree. You know what I mean? Totally agree. But people don't make it sound like it's I feel like people have a different.
But that's not nature. That right there is a psychological issue, and that's something that we need to address in the Black community.
Well, girls need to feel love. Like you said, if it's a father, if they don't have it from a father, they're going to seek it from another man. They're just as helpless with their little feelings as a boy is with his desire to sleep around. Like, it's just as natural for a girl to
that's a cop out. That's a cop out. That's a cop out. That's accepted. Yes, that's accepted hopelessness, accepted powerlessness. And that's something we gotta stop preaching that to each other, because you have every ability to make the decision to do the right thing. And here we are sitting up here making excuses for girls that have psychological issues. These are girls that were probably abused growing up, mentally, physically. And we're sitting up here saying that this is a natural thing. It is not a natural thing to want to sit up here and say you need to find love outside of loving yourself first. You have to learn how to love yourself first. That's the most natural thing.
And kids just teach that to themselves?
No, the parents are supposed to instill that in you. And like Sunkist pointed out earlier, that is a parenting failure.
But it's not natural for a girl to seek affection from a man. That's not natural.
Yeah, it is natural.
It's
I mean,
natural.
I understand why we're saying it's not. That's all. Like, how is that any less
Right.
natural than the
That's
nature
not
of
what
a
we're
boy?
saying.
We're talking about
How is
two
that an
things.
excuse?
We're
Yeah,
talking about. I think we're talking about two different types of love. You know,
Right.
When we're talking about self-love and as far as romantic love and being wanted by someone else, as far as relationship, well, that's a different type of love. I think that if you haven't been taught and been trained through your immediate family of loving yourself, valuing who you are, and knowing your wealth, you won't allow whether you have a love for this guy or whomever to manipulate, exploit you, and do things and treat you in such a way that they're not supposed to. And a lot of girls in our community are seeking. What they're doing is they're trying to replace the love that they did not get from their father from somebody they're dating, and that's not healthy.
It's not, but that girl is what she's having a normal response to a bad situation. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to the women, you're talking about excuses when no, you could exploit a young woman that's in that situation in her mind, or you could like not exploit her. She's not doing anything. It's a natural. The women, and quite frankly, this is not just in the mentality of like teen girls. Those women who start having kids that young, a lot of time they still be in the same space when they're in their 20s and 30s.
True.
Because they got like frozen in time. So it really is still like talking to a teenager, but they don't all those women have in common is they don't have any self-love. Like none, like it's not even I don't even know how to put it. It's empty. And the fact that people have been able to come along and exploit them doesn't mean that I'm making an excuse for that woman. I'm saying, like, if her kids are taught to love themselves by their parents, and a person that doesn't have that is vulnerable to exploitation by anybody who comes along. Whoever
But you know what? But what you're saying, it could go both ways. The same way that you said it's natural for girls to want to have love. You have to look at little boys growing up in puberty. It's natural for them to want to have sex because they're
that's the point I'm making.
hormonal changes.
Yeah, they're the same. Exactly. So to be putting all
So it's really it's up to the parents. It's up to the parents to inform the children, and that is what is not happening in the Black community. The parents are not getting involved enough. The parents are not explaining these to the children and leaving the children out here to figure it out on their own.
Yeah, agree. So it's not that women are doing something wrong or men are doing something wrong. It's the parenting level that's actually the one that's broken.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm just talking shit.
I mean, you're making good points.
But to be saying like women should be choosing all these different things, all those women didn't fall out of a box. They felt differently about themselves and they didn't know any better. So what are you going to do? You know, it is what it is. Men want to have sex. They want to have sex. Like both people, you know, I try to avoid a lot of the manosphere stuff because it's not really always about gender. A lot of it's just about how people treat each other, male or female. And I thank you, D. Darrell, for letting me talk my shit. Like men and women should both be more responsible. And yeah, I do. The manosphere, I would agree with them, I think, but a lot of them would get mad when they say men only value women for certain things. Those are exactly the men we should stop sleeping with. And they keep giving us the advice to be choosier, and we should. The second they start talking that manosphere shit, that's exactly the nigga you shouldn't fuck. Take their advice. Valuing the 20% and all that shit, just you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you wanted them. You know what I'm saying? All right, bet. I'm gonna hop down. Thanks, D. Darrell.
All right, cool.
You know, please join the Chaos Reign Show. As you can tell, you see the amount of nice badge and custom emojis. Ooh. So as you can tell, join the Chaos Reign Show. As you know, there are some perks. As you know, there are 2 tiers of membership. Membership 1, $2.99. As you know, the first membership, as it tells from the description, exclusive members only videos, and also some videos that will be only depending on the situation will be put on members. Not every video will be members only, but the ones that are members only or custom members only videos, you'll see mostly on the first tier. Stage 1, called Enter the Chaos, Stage 1. Now, the other one, the $7.99 one. As you know, there's early access to new videos, member shoutouts, photos and status updates. Maybe I had to edit. I might not put no photos, maybe updates. I might. We'll see, depending on how many people join the top tier one. And like always, exclusive members and members only live streams. And personally, as this builds up, I might do the live streams members only here mostly, roughly, than what's given here. Well, we have videos, so depending on what is I could put on here, it post mostly will be on the first tier. The second tier, depending on how much is built up, there might be more exclusive live streams. Might be a little raw cut, uncut stuff, maybe on the members only True Chaos uncut version, which it speaks for itself. And another thing, if y'all did not know, there's a way why I priced the two memberships the way they are. If you could really understand the subliminal numbering of why I choose the first tier $2.99 and the other one $7.99, I'll say this. I doubt people's gonna figure it out, but let's say for the sake of conversation, they come across why I came up with these pricings. I might give you maybe exclusive, maybe a shout out, or maybe more. Who knows? Maybe something special. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So, contemplate why I priced my channel the way it is. There's a certain codified code I use the numbers for a reason. I can't give you more detail than what I just gave you now. So I want you to think deeply on that when you catch the replay of this video. So those are membership.
So, Mr. Chaos Rain, how's it going, sir? And thanks for joining us.
What's good, man? Good morning, Black Mind. How you doing? How you doing, man? I missed good portion of the stream, but I have to say at the fall that the simping thing has to really get real control out here, as time progresses. Because in this environment, the dual mania strategy only goes so far in the last couple of decades, but it will not serve them move forward. You get me? They could be selective all they want, but if they decide to say, all right, I'm going to get the genetic part, they get the money from somebody after, that is only going to apply depending on the mindset and the development of that black man. You get me? And most black men nowadays, because a lot of them are very cautious now, and they're watching the after effects because social media is a good tool. A lot of them are not going to really just go in it willy, unless they're very desperate and they have no control of certain urges. You get me? But the ones that do have that capability, they nothing's going to really sucker them in anything. Especially, if a chick does have a kid, let's say she has a kid, most likely you got to be very cautious. Say, yeah, you're probably going to be X out, most likely. Because, depending on your age, if you're not with that dude for whatever reason and you're just moving on, chances are you're going to probably move on with me very highly in this, Western Hemisphere, the first world nation. Because think about it. 5 years, if people get married in 5 years is the average, and I think it's less than that now, that's not no actual marriage. After you're not getting nothing in under 10 years. And usually you just starting to really know somebody and you're going for real stuff after 10 years. And some of these relationships, especially if it does go to marriage, is not even surviving the 10-year part. So if you're not even putting that as a woman, depending on where your age is, then it's better off you just be honest with yourself and this, screw and keep pushing. Be useful, especially with the body counts. And I know most people, some dudes say they don't care about body count because whether they get access or not. You had to keep that in mind because pair bonding is essential. And if you're a woman that's not even having real constructive relationships, sincerely, that's a little bit longer, you're going to raise your body count, bouncing around. I think I know one chick. I don't want to tell myself. One chick, particularly, she had like, a lot of bodies.
It was bad, huh?
It is really bad. At times, facilitate an actual relationship, I said, nah. And a lot of people said, imagine to ask, but I say, nothing's wrong asking because you're a man, you probably looking for some form of serious. Or, even better, you look for some woman that, that could be dependable, reliable, and trusted. You get me? And if you're a woman and you're going bouncing around like that, that tells you have no trust. You're going to have issues mentally because you're taking too many essence of a man. Well, a lot of people say, well, I'm using protection. No, it doesn't matter. You're taking the essence of a man, baby. I don't give a crap what you say. Your body's not designed to absorb everything. And it's one thing, black man, that woman, if you ask her, they'll will fight you that. They're going to try to go for some crap. Some people say that doesn't true, doesn't matter. I said, oh, really? All right. Do this science, baby. If you take the essence of a man, like in a cup, in large gallons, will you be fine or will something happen to you? It said, well, something happened. I said, well, you know what happened? You go in a coma.
Oh.
You go straight in a coma because your body is not designed to absorb. Every man has not only energy, but all other things, nutrients, and the soul of a man. It's in that seed. So you do that crap, it's going to stay with you. And I don't care what they say, if you take a 6 months or whatever break, it's tied by you spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this. It's like the Freddy Krueger effect. And I got some George Mikan. But it's deeper. When Freddy Krueger was conceived, her mother was taken advantage ravagely. And she had all those essences of the man. And it accumulated and created what the monster they call Freddy Krueger. So everything matters. So somebody was up here a while ago and they jumped down. I jumped down. Hope they come back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just saw that he dropped off. That was the line of MGTOW. He was just on. I was just about to ask him what's good, and then and he jumped.
Hope he comes back. Hope he comes back.
So. Hopefully so.
Yeah, but I'm hoping not losing you just by giving that scenario, because we have to really be crucial here that, even now with the social media part, and they talk about, they'll just go out, day out. I said, well, they're going to do it regardless anyway. Because think about it, no man's asking if they're really in a relationship with these women that if they conceive, is it really a child? And we know fraternity has actually been increasing since integration. We think about it. Because now, one time we didn't have DNA testing, but it is now been around now for over 40 years. And a lot of us don't use it because we feel that it's gonna bring a fracture into the so-called relationship. Well, if it's gonna bring fracture, it was never whole from the start.
Yeah, it more so just means it would expose the fracture that's already there.
Already there, yeah. And I'll tell you another thing. I asked this one chick, she's like in her, I think in her late 20s. I said, if a man asks if he DNA test, we down, be cool. And she looked at me weird, say, if we do that, say, I feel so bad. At the point, say, I might just not want to deal with him. I said, oh, good. That means you can't be trusted. Not everyone wants to say in her that, but that's the mind that comes to my mind, say, hey, you can't be trusted. If you're going to, separate or end the so-called tie relationship because a man wants to make sure it's his kid, that tells me you, in your back of your mind, have always been messing around. And it goes back again, the pair bonding. If you're not in these relationships and you have more than, let's say, a few bodies in your repertoire as a woman, then yes, it's gonna be a problem when a man asks that. Look at all the so-called TV shows that do the DNA testing, right? How they now no longer there. And the reason why they're no longer there, because they've been around for decades, is because men now, let's be honest, are come to the realization that some of these kids they have are not theirs. So what they gonna do now, and some men are gonna have some, they're gonna grow some hair. They're gonna demand an answer to the DNA, or they're going in their face, or they're gonna go behind back and find out. Either or, you gotta make sure it is your kid, because way how these laws are put in place, even now in some parts in the states, you might hear about this Black Mind. I said now they say you're gonna be paying during conception in one state. So it tells me they don't really care at this point. They say, yo, listen, if it's you and her and you could see, you start paying immediately. So the state's not gonna even protect you regardless. So you gotta do your own due diligence to protect yourself at all costs now. You're gonna have to be very more wise now. If you're gonna be out here and you think you're gonna have kids, you gotta make sure now. Don't spend no money on anything that's not yours. The technology is here now. There's no excuse that we don't use it. I don't care if she gonna end the relationship or not. If she ended, she was not someone that you want to stay around anyway, because she'll be the one that will do something to you in the long run. Matter of fact, I go in further. If you marry her, I guarantee it's not gonna last over 10, 15, or 20 years.
That's if the kid is yours. Because
if it's yours, yeah. If it's yours, and she's already buckled down on that, that tells you it's already gonna end very soon. So you better do your part immediately. Find out now, and prepare for the worst. Now the guy's back.
What's going on, Lionel McTowell?
Oh my God, Chaos Rain, what's going on, man? Good to see you, my brother.
What's good? What's good, Dr. Ron Neal? How you doing, brother?
Man?
On the top, brother. This is actually a good day. I've been following this case for some time now. I wish I watched from the beginning, but I'm watching many other content creators cover this. It made me tempted to cover it, but I was saying, let me sit back and see what will be the final results before I do a real actual recap. And to be honest with you, from what I'm hearing from a few content creators, they had a feeling that this man might do time in jail for manslaughter. And I'm thinking, way how the case was structured and how it was laid out, if they still throw the book at Travis, you know definitely that they were getting at this Black man for him defending not only his brother but his own territory. It's the point where it said, well, you chase that with a gun. Listen. If this bitch calls someone to come handle you, it's not gonna be some nice little thing where we're gonna talk and then try to sort things out. It's gonna get violent. Bloody. All men knows this. People don't understand the last resort is usually if we can't talk it as men, we're gonna fist it out and someone's gonna get messed up. And if done really correctly, we might come out in this 6 feet under. And it's been known. I've been hearing this in space constantly that Black women will use either the police or they'll use some of these fucking simps to come in and deal with you for the possibility of sex. I saw of this dude, I don't know if he's white, wherever he is, and I guess it's a friend say, hold on, dude, is this woman giving you pussy? Why are you up here defending honor of a fucking bitch that really caused this in the first place? She talked about saying, and here's the funny thing. Did y'all notice when the lawyer asked her a few questions, said, do you get scarred? Do you get bruised? I said, no. So that means you can't go to police say that you got messed up because there is no evidence of you got any domestic violence. And domestic violence was the reason why you went out and told your brother and your simp friend to go shoot up the place. What that tells you? That tells me you saw something you like. He shook you because you got violent, because you the one that started the violence, and we could not. And listen to me, good brothers. You're not gonna see no fucking female content creators cover this.
Oh, of course not.
And the reason why that covers is because this man won. And they're going to take her side all day, every day. And because of this wall of goddamn silence, you're digging your own grave, ladies, with this. This should be something that should be checked, should be talked about immediately. I saw her, and I look at her as young as she is. What the fuck you doing with a goddamn BBL? I did a show on this on one particular young mixed woman. She's a sister, but she mixed. She lost her life getting a BBL. They call it Mamba, but no, we all know what it is. You get your whole body done, including your backside. And I saw her pictures. There's nothing wrong with this chick. The one Jackie O. Even Toboy said this guy probably wasn't married. The point is this, that you ladies are killing yourself to get a so-called unnatural sculpted figure for men to just to screw you and keep it pushing. This shit got self-esteem issues. That's why when he said that to her, she felt away. That's why she looked at the guy's phone to see who else he talked to. And once she saw those women, and here's the worst thing about this, that I can see why women don't talk about this. Bitch, you're married.
Exactly.
You're still married. So that means you're not only loyal, but you're seeking some other phallus that has a bigger wallet. And because you try to play your cards right, you lost, bitch. So now what you had to do? I can't let you walk out of this unscathed. I'm going to destroy you. She started this. I don't care what any man or woman will say. You started this, baby. They hassle to ask you the certain questions. You tiptoe around it, even to the point where you try to put the word out for your tech. And I'm gonna say this to black people. This is my thing. Black people, men and women, they're going to have to start cutting back on the texting. And here, listen why. You're leaving a greater paper trail when you do this antisocial bullshit. I was never a proponent of texting. If I can't talk to you directly, I should not be texting you for every conversation. And here's a good proof. When she deleted it, but she didn't have her friend or her brother delete it because they need an actual paper trail. It said, no, I didn't cause this. They said they're going to commit. So something happens, it's back on them, not on me. Because think about this. They check out and say, wait, why are you looking up laws about staying your ground? Awesome. Because she was wondering if this is going to come back to her. And it should come back to her. Because you caused this problem. But most people that when they commit a crime like what she's done, that is considered conspiring.
Conspiracy.
That's people get in jail, locked up, doing time for conspiracy. People forgot that. But because we live in America and they're going to be lenient to women than men, if you're a man and you did, you'll be conspired, they will lock it. Because I tell people many times, men are the prize when it comes to jail. And the one that's top of the list, the biggest target is the black man. We're not going to play around with this. We all know there's more non-blacks than us, but when they target a certain group of men, they look for a black man for any case. That's why when the police come to your place, they always got to see, where's the man at? Because they're not focused on you, bitch. Don't give me that bullshit. This is a good win. I don't give a fuck what anybody say.
It is. And let me say this.
I'm sorry.
Let me say this. So, to speak what you're saying, so you guys, I think Chaos is right in terms of etiquette. When y'all are texting and going back and forth, guys, especially in the United States, you guys need to really be serious about how you're communicating with these people.
All levels.
At every level, you know what I'm saying? And even you guys who are on dating apps and all this kind of stuff.
Especially that, Dr. Ron Neal.
Yeah, you guys who are on dating apps and you're dealing with, in direct, DMs and all this kind of stuff. You guys need to be very, very careful about how you all engage and how you communicate to these individuals. You know what I'm saying? And Chaos is right. The best thing to do, and I'm gonna say that this is just, I'm not a game guy, but I'm old enough to know what life was like before dating apps and texting and all that kind of stuff, when we had to actually go out and interact with women. You know what I'm saying? And you have young guys who are coming along. All they know is technology, and technology can be your downfall. You know what I mean? And so you need to be careful about how you go on back and forth with these people and everything. Fortunately, it worked to her disadvantage because the state, through forensic investigations, were able to go back and retrieve cell phone records and all that kind of stuff, and saw what she did and what she said. They even went back and saw her Google activity. You know what I mean? So you guys need to be smart when it comes down to all that stuff. So let me say this. So Ghetto User, thank you, Ghetto User, for that super chat, man. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for supporting the Scholar. Praise the Lord. Travis got off. When will women be held accountable? That is the endless question. When will there be accountability? And as Chaos said, had it been a man in her situation commissioning a hit, he would be charged with conspiracy. He would be charged with that. Okay, you know, if you think about something like RICO, you know, when you have a mastermind who employs other human beings to engage in criminal activity, that person is typically charged with a crime. Okay, and then she wasn't got hit with it. We got Afro Nerd in the house. What's going on, Afro Nerd, man? Talk to us, man. What do you want to say about this situation?
All righty, Doc. Good evening to you and the gentleman. I'll say a couple of things. I'll try my best to be brief. So I knew a bit about this case, you know, just from a few years ago. I heard about it, and right from the onset, I said to myself, "Okay, this has got to be a win. Like logic has to win out, because when you hear that he was essentially being jumped on, that this was an obvious thing. So I didn't think it would have to get to this level in litigation for him to be acquitted. That a trial had to occur. I thought this was pretty much a straight up thing. So what I think is important, really, is just how many of these kind of cases are occurring nationwide. And I will say this as far as black male specific.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I can't speak for other men. Maybe Latino men might have a similar situation. I can't speak for white men. But there seems to be this whole ordeal of black men consistently being put in a position of being used by women to be sicked on. The sicking of black men on other men is a thing. I've called a number of female platforms on Sirius XM, and I mean, you know, just terrestrial radio and that kind of thing. And when I go into the topic of black women specifically sicking other men, their paramours, their boyfriends, husbands, whatever, boyfriends on other men, and usually that male gets the short end of the stick, she's all able to walk away like nothing happened. They're listening to me like I'm speaking a different language. They don't think that this is a thing. I mean, there have been a litany of cases, and matter of fact, it goes beyond just the relations between men and women. It goes with mothers and sons. There's a case, you may be familiar with this. It was more local. I'm a New York person, but there was a case where a mother. I mean, it sounds crazy.
I remember that case.
You know what? You know where I'm going. McDonald's.
McDonald's, yeah.
There was a Brooklyn McDonald's.
I remember that.
A woman, obviously, she didn't hear of an invention called the microwave, but I digress. She was complaining about cold fries, got into it with the McDonald's staff, specifically a young male, probably around the same age as her son. Her son already had a body on him. We find that out later. But nevertheless, because of cold fries, she sicks her son on the McDonald's worker. And then he ends up getting killed. Matter of fact, I think his girlfriend passed him the gun. So, I mean, that's just one. There's another case in New York with a bodega owner where one woman was trying to get potato chips on credit. I mean, this is, people are living some desperate lives.
Desperate.
And again, this bodega owner told them, I can't do that. She doesn't want to take no. So she sicks her boyfriend on this Latin store owner, and he's an older man, and he had to do what he had to do, and he ended up knifing this guy in the neck, and he kills him, and this woman kind of just walks away. I could name a number of cases where even if it's not your life, heck, I hate to go into this, but when you think about the Will Smith affair, that was a woman sicking her husband or giving him cues or making him feel that he had to comport himself in a certain way. And he attacks another personality of note, another wealthy person on the global stage, gentlemen.
Global stage.
And when you hear, I know I hate to revisit this, but we have to get into the mentality that's out there. When you hear some of the cheerleaders that approved of his behavior and approved that the slight that Pickett thought that she had sustained was so big that black night, it was a black night of excellence. It wasn't just Will Smith. See, I'm mentioning this because it's death of a career. It's death in a literal sense. But when you have a cadre of women, well, I hate to say black women specific because
it was, man. You have to say it. It was
because many white women didn't see, because of hair follicles, right? That the Williams sisters' father, because it's it's patriarchy going on, the right kind of patriarchy. I'm using kind of to be literal.
I got you.
Their father was his night, right? You had a Will Packer ran the show. You had a Questlove, his Philly homeboy, was getting an Oscar for an impactful documentary about essentially Black Woodstock in '69. I mean, all this stuff. When black folks a few years ago were complaining about the lack of representation, no one thought, like, women just did not want to hear that. Do you think that her feelings equals to the entirety of black excellence? A whole thing fell apart because of nothing. So I mean, I'm glad this young man, and Doc, you mentioned it, he was only, I think, 27 years old. And I just want us, black men specifically, we've got to raise our standards. We got to raise our self-esteem. We cannot continue, because I think in my heart, and I would say that, and I'll close out on this. I do believe that there's always been this fear of black male excellence. Once black men get it right, there's going to be a whole bunch of people who are going to be fearsome of that. That's what's really, and including our own women.
Of course,
we're going to be more. We're already desirable when we fail. What happens when we win? I'm talking about. So I'm on that ish.
I mean, think about it. I mean, there's the whole story of, she called him broke or whatever because she couldn't get her way with him. You know what I mean? Because it was obvious she couldn't deal with the fact that there was competition. Let's just be honest. She couldn't deal with the fact that this is a young man. He can attract all sorts of women. You know what I mean? And she thought that he was going to be a come up or whatever. And she had all that psychological stuff, all that baggage that was behind everything that she did, because we don't know all the details of her marriage or whatever, but she saw him as a lick, as a target, as a come up, and she couldn't get it. She couldn't control him or what have you, and there was a great deal of resentment that was there. So when you're talking about black male excellence, yeah, and that's why you guys, especially you guys you young guys in particular who are on the come up, you guys who are disciplined, this is very important. You guys who are disciplined, you guys who are not out here impregnating a bunch of women, you guys who are focused on your careers and paths and your skills and whatever, your vocations, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have people who will be attracted to you, okay, and want to get next to you. But here's the thing, they will also have this built-in kind of resentment towards you, especially if they see that their ability to get a piece of the rock is either limited or non-existent. If they see themselves as simply just a jump off or some short-term situation, that will only just breed more resentment towards you, which means that you will open up to the type of stuff that this woman did towards him. We got Electrician 480, man. Thank you for that super chat and that support and all that. Good to always see you in the house, man. Go ahead, man, and holler at us and weigh in on this situation, my brother.
All right. Salute, Dr. Neil, and to live chat. Can everybody hear me okay?
Perfectly.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
All right, good deal. First of all, I want to say that I'm really glad that black men and black men content creators are talking about this. I'm encouraged by that. Let me just say that first and foremost. I'm glad that the young brother Travis Rudolph got off. But if we look at the bigger picture of this, Travis Rudolph is never going to come back from this. I believe, and this is just me, this is what in my thinking. For so long, so many of us as black men have either been dead or in prison for life. I know that's how it is in the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
Over women.
Yeah.
Over women. There's a woman that gets her family members involved, and either the family member is either going to get killed or he's going to prison for the rest of their lives, and vice versa. If it's a boyfriend and getting into it with the baby daddy or whatever the case may be, it's always been circled. One of the biggest violent crimes that a lot of brothers are dealing with are particularly around women. And I feel in this case, and really the person who really got off is the young lady that he was dealing with. She got off. I mean, she's going to be able to live her normal life, no problems, no issues. And this man, I just got this gut wrenching feeling that if he tried to go for the NFL, the XFL, or the USFL, I think he may wind up getting turned down every opportunity because of this case. And the thing about it is, and it is great that we celebrate this, but how many black men do we know? How many black men do we know I have been locked up in prison over nonsense like this? And and when you look at it, it just mind boggles. And again, I'm all for us really talking about this. But what my thinking is that this is where we talk about politics, about changing laws that are going to be for us as black men. Because nobody cares about us. This brother, if he would have went to prison, everybody would be like, oh, well, go about your way. And even now, I mean, if it wasn't for and I know probably, like yourself, Dr. Neal, you talking about, I'm hoping that Dr. Johnson talk about that as well, too. If he does, I don't know. But the thing about it is that it is time for us to really put our energy and efforts in about getting laws that are changed for our advantage, not trying to take advantage of people, but to help us. Because I truly believe that brother didn't have any money for no attorneys and law, for lawyers. Oh man, he'd have been sitting in quarantining, ready to go to some prison in Florida. And I am just really, really tired of, you got these sisters out here who play victim. It's okay for them to bust you upside your head with a bottle. It's okay for them to hit you upside the head with a trophy. It's okay for them to talk shit. See, now the thing about it, what I think what really happened was when that girl came on, that other woman, that she snatched his phone out and she FaceTimed her and he was real cool with it. I wouldn't doubt if if he said what he said, like, look, she finer than you and she better than you and we got better sex than you. Now, she probably blacked out. And that's what all happened. But the thing about it is, when you look at it, he shouldn't have been messing with her anyway, because she was still a married woman and had another dude on the side. So it's just a lot of calamity. And to my thing, what young brothers are, don't get caught up with just because she looked good. Yeah, I know you want the sex. We all been there, done that. But my thinking is it really worth it? And it's not. It's not. I'm gonna land my plane and I'm gonna continue to let you guys talk.
You mind if I chime in on that?
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure. here's the thing. I think we as black men, we are kind of myopic when it comes to, we feel that we got to be with our women. We feel that we got to stay here in this cesspool. And the problem is they're not our women anymore. They used to be, but times have changed. And also a lot of these laws, it's going to be hard to change. There's other places that we can go to in the world where, with, like, for example, take Travis. He's worth $5 million. Wow. And do you know in the Philippines how he could live out the rest of his life with that kind of money?
Like a king, probably.
Like with $30,000 a year, you considered a millionaire.
Wow.
So if you were $5 million, he could set up an online business just so he don't spend all his money and just live humbly and marry a woman if he wants to get married and have a child in a country where they don't have no fault divorce. A woman can't just marry you and stay with you for a couple of years and take all your money. And we think we have to live here because we were born here. When I lived in Argentina for 7 years. Man, I had such a good time over there. And I felt at home. Now, I couldn't get in a lot of people's business because I was American. I had a permanent residency over there. So I stayed out of politics. But, man, I enjoyed myself.
Oh, no,
we don't have to.
I agree with you, brother. I agree because, my ex-wife is Brazilian. We were married for 19 years. I been to Brazil over 15, 16 different times. And the thing, I have a goddaughter in Brazil. And the thing is, it's just that women, speaking of South America, they just move differently. They have that respect and honor. Not to say there's not a lot of, they don't do stuff or infidelity. I'm not saying that. I'm not making them out to be perfect angels. However, though, I've never dealt with anything of this type of level of drama, or I've never seen anything, I should say, of this type of level of drama like I see here back in my own homeland. Never seen it before. I've never seen it. It's I think I've always said this. If black men, if the bulk of the majority of black men who are not married and they married other black women from other different various parts of the world, then you would literally have sisters here would be just, they will be so out of pocket with. They wouldn't even know what to do. They wouldn't even know what to do. It would be over. It'll be a holocaust. But see, a lot of that, all of the, and then going back to what you said before, we have been trained since birth to be, let me just say it honestly, and I'm including my own self. We've been trained to be simps from birth as black men.
I want to get into that.
And now, hold on. Before you go there, let me just say this. So here's the thing. So what's obvious in this case, he's a young man, and he made a young man's mistake. And he's a young man who was a victim of his own simp socialization. Because when you listen to the testimony that he made and everything, he gave this woman so much grace. So much grace. He talked about loving her and being in love with her, which meant that even when she became violent with him, he was still trying to negotiate. He was still trying to be peaceful in everything. He let stuff go. And this is the problem that we have. And this is a generational, and what the thing is, this guy is under 30, 27 years old. This is generational conditioning. Okay? And this is why this is such a great case, because what we see here is that you have a lot of young black men who have generationally, they have been conditioned to put up with and allow women to violate their boundaries, and they think it's okay, even to the point of being subject to violence.
Yep.
Because she was hitting on him. She was
Yes,
hitting
sir.
him. She was hitting him. She was being verbally abusive, and he tolerated that. Okay, it's kind of like, VGS Ibmore. He been talking about Klingon women, black women being Klingons and all this kind of stuff like that, and hitting on men. And we've dealt with this generationally. This whole notion that if a woman likes you, and I've dealt with this in my own lifetime, man. I've had to. I'll be honest with you, man. I've dealt with women, who just felt comfortable. They would want to try to hit you and put their hands on you. It doesn't have to be a very aggressive thing, but you can be with them out in public or whatever and stuff like that, and they think it's cool for them to like punch on you and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And
I mean,
and if you don't, here's the thing: if you don't nip that stuff in the bud when it's happening, it can escalate to stuff that you'll never be able to get yourself out of. And what this case demonstrates is that even at the younger levels, man, you and I, all of us, most of us here are, we're fully blown, over 30 black men or whatever, over 35. You know what I mean? But this stuff with the young guys, they're not getting this. This stuff doesn't work anymore. We have to. It doesn't. For men. And Afro Nurse says, return to the masculine frame. He talks about Harry Belafonte and Jim Brown and all that kind of stuff. Harry Belafonte, Jim Brown. For generations, black men have tolerated that. Okay, and for generations, black men have made themselves vulnerable to the type of negative repercussions and consequences that can come for that. But here we are in 2023. This is no longer acceptable. You can't play with people like this. You just can't play with. You can't play with people putting their hands on you. You can't play with people being verbally abusive. Once you start seeing that stuff manifest itself, you need to cut these people off. You know what I mean? And this is a young guy who. That's why I said I hope that this is his quote unquote red pill moment. That you can't be playing with people like this. You need to move in a completely different way if you're going to deal with stuff in America. Then there's the option of dealing with other women from other parts of the world and what have you, who have a different code and a different understanding and what have you, who understand boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And so this case is really very instructive in terms of where we are right now, because of the fact that this is a young guy. Let me tell you something, man. I just saw a case in I live in North Carolina, man, and I've lived in South Carolina. I just saw a case of a young guy, 22 years old. He's in jail right now. He just murdered his girlfriend. A guy in South Carolina murdered his girlfriend. He's 22 years old. His girlfriend had one child from another man. His girlfriend was 18 years old. 18 years old. It's right here on YouTube. This woman was pregnant with her third child. She had one child from him, one child from another guy, pregnant from I guess it was his child, and something happened. He put hands on her before. He went to jail. He got out of jail. She pleaded before the judge and the advocates to get him out of jail. He went back to her. Something happened. He wound up putting a bullet in her head. You know what I'm saying? And so this is a generational problem that we're dealing with. This is a generational problem, and these young black men are not getting the information. They're not getting the tools. They're not getting the equipment to just walk away, leave it alone, to think about their freedom and all that kind of stuff, man. So this is a very real thing that we're dealing with. And this Gen Z, Travis is Gen Z. Okay, I don't care what nobody says. He's Gen Z. And this is indicative of what's happening with the younger generations, man. We haven't solved this. So we as black men have the responsibility, those of us who are older, to guys, listen, you can't move like this no more. You know what I mean? This is a rare case. This is, like you said, there are a bunch of guys in the penitentiary right now, all over the country.
Yes, sir.
They're in the penitentiary due to situations like this, and they did not have the resources to fight it. They didn't have defense attorneys that were confident in them to take this thing to trial. You know what I mean? And their lives have been snatched from them, man. This is about freedom. This is about black men moving different.
I want to mention one other thing. I want to double back on something. The self-esteem thing is major league with black people, and maybe it's gender specific. With black women, you can make an argument that some of the self-esteem issues we see are, with the obesity, with this hair fixation. Now we're seeing tattoos and weird piercings, the bull rings. I mean, dare I say, some of what the women that I've seen in recent years are, to me, unmarriageable is one thing, undateable. Just the tier levels. Like, there's some women that I've never dated a woman that looked or had the attributes that I'm seeing that are being just custom now. So we see that side of it, but I see the other side with our men, black men, young black men specifically, where the self-esteem issues you start to see in a different way. The recent case that came out, it's all over the internet, that's gone viral, with Zion Williamson. With he has a kid on the way allegedly, and then there's another percolating thing with this
porn star.
Prawns. I'm trying to respect the algorithm.
Yeah, I got it.
The prawn star.
Prawn star, yeah.
Okay, I may be familiar with the work. Okay.
Say prawn. Say prawn. Say prawn.
Okay.
Say prawn.
I said yes. I said prawn star. So I may be familiar with this woman's work, Mariah Mills, and I just sit and I've been thinking about this for quite some time. If you are a multi-million-dollar man, I think he has a $200 million contract or something like that to 21 or 22. Why does this woman rate to you? I'm not a $200 million man by no stretch of the imagination, but I have a couple of degrees. I have a little bit of an arrogance. I know the doc might feel similarly. If you are highly skilled, if you're highly skilled, if you are a man of means, I'm not talking about wealthy, just being a black man who's healthy, who makes a certain salary. Especially many of us do not have children. We have a lot of things we can mark on our resumes that are highly respected. Set aside someone who's worth millions of dollars. There's got to be a way to convey to some of these men, these young men. We are men. I know about the reptilian thing. Trust me, I know. But at some point, you're going to have to say, look, this woman is just not. She's not up to snuff. But we see repeatedly. This is really across race and ethnicities, because we saw a lot of takedowns with Me Too, with men in power that they couldn't control themselves. Tavis Smiley and a whole bunch of others.
Oh, man.
I mean, he's kind of coming back. He's got his own radio station, and bless him for that. But this guy was the go-to person, and you see so many men, black and white and other varied ethnicities, where your livelihood, your status, and you're taken down by women that do not rate. And when does it stop?
No. Absolutely. I mean, and I saw the situation with Zion. I mean, I'm like, the story is that he impregnated some woman. He impregnated some woman who already has a child. You know what I mean? Who was out there in the sex industry. You know what I'm saying?
Can I add on to that? When you get
the sex industry broadly conceived. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
You know, there's one thing that's prawn, and then there's the other, whatever stuff that they got
Amateur and
going on.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, amateur. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the thing is that you got to look at, again, this is a generational thing. These guys don't get mentoring. They don't get the type of leadership that they need and what have you. And let's be honest, they've grown up around women.
Well, they was raised by single mothers, so
They were raised by women, single mothers.
That's around there. It's interesting you mentioned that. 'Cause I heard this came out, and I guess she's a porn entertainer.
Prawn star or adult entertainment.
Adult star. Yeah, and there was another one that was live that's already 30. One from Guyana. I think her name's whatever.
Oh, in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think her name Myra. Wherever these ladies are. My thing is this, and I think what's his name? LaMelo Ball gotta be careful too, because he's dealing with one woman that's like in her mid-30s too. That these women that's in the industries, the IGs or those sex business, they know they're not gonna get no quality man that's the same age or older. They already know this. So what's the second best thing? They're gonna get the ones that are still simping, still young at age, very immature. That's why they more gravitate to younger men. It's not because these men are more ambitious. Like I hear one woman I dealt with on our channel, but is that they're easy to be fooled because they don't understand the longer game. It's like this, boy, she's a decade older than you. And we look at most dudes that deal with most women, they're either roughly the same age, they meet them in college, or the dude's a little bit older. You young dudes that have money, you're doing things the reverse. Especially a woman that's well older than you. And no one's saying that you are already up and coming and very much already have money well down. So they're thinking, now I'm going to play the even better long game. Just like the one soccer player that puts everything in his mother's name.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people say that was, that could be not true or wherever it is. But still, it lets you know if a woman's older than you, she's playing the long game. And she know that she's going to take even greater advantage because she has the experience. Hell, she's been on the carousel for a good long time. So she definitely experienced. She knows your psychology. They know one thing with these young dudes, only thing they're focused right now is sex. And that's how they get them.
I want to say something quickly. One thing